Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Rio Podcast. No, of course, I'm just playing. It's the Nexus Podcast. I'm your co-host up to Dave, and I'm here with my other co-host, Franco, aka Burrito Voorhees, aka King Jr. How are you, man?
I am currently a little bit under the weather, so excuse my
Oh,
voice at times. I feel a lot better than I did yesterday, but my voice is still kind of gone. But yeah, just want to let everybody know I got a new PC, so hopefully the production on the Nexus podcast will be buffed, and I can have videos and screens playing in the background without like any lag or blurry screens, and hopefully it'll just be going up from here on the podcast because we still want to do a lot more. It was just really annoying and limiting on my laptop that I had used before then. So we got a little bit of a update on the Nexus podcast side of things. Uh, Carry away.
well, first of all, I'm happy you're feeling better than yesterday. Um, second of all, we have a tier list discussion here because we're supposed to get a new patch. We would like to wrap up this version of the game, and of course, who other than to bring on? We have our great friend Cowboy on again. How are you doing, man?
Doing well, doing well. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. Thanks for being on. Well, let's just get started. We're trying to keep this under 2 hours. We're still Tom and Rio. The best podcasts are the ones that are under 2 hours, at least my humble opinion. So I'm gonna mention the characters in ABC order. I assume King Jr. has his graphic ready. I do kind of have my list of notes here to kind of go along with the discussion. Um, I'm gonna mention the first character, who is Ashra. Cowboy, your thoughts?
Yeah, I'd say around A. I've said this consistently. She's just a very strong character. I think most people don't use the thing that's broke about her, which is the armor. Because yeah, she is kind of a footsie character, but that's not what's broken. The armor and her general kind of impossibility to pin down is her biggest strength. So I'd have a solid A.
Just for the record, before I let King Jr. Uh, you know, give his 2 cents, I do believe, for me personally, you know how people get triggered about the letters S, A. I personally go with top, high, mid, and low. For me personally, I will either place Ashra in mid or low. The only reason I say that is because I do agree with Cowboy. I think the armor is by far the best thing about her. But for me personally, and I'm going to preface this tier list, you know, in my humble opinion, this game is about offense. And if you cannot break down people consistently, like if you constantly have to throw and you're doing like 12%, you're just going to get blown up eventually. Like the risk reward ratio is not going to favor you. If a character ducks you, that's 40%, right? Like think about how many times you have to throw them. It's ridiculous, right? Um, so for me personally, like when I played King Junior and King, this is a while ago with Astra, I just couldn't break him down. Like they would just block the overhead nonstop, and I would struggle to break him down. Right after like play footsies and do all this stuff, which in this game I don't think you want to do. Cowboy, I'm sure you would agree with that. So
Right.
um, she just doesn't have. She just cannot generate enough offense, and I think that's a weakness. If she had a cameo who could, who could like do a Dragon Ball fusion between Serena and Mavado, then I think she would be really, really good. Like that, she would be really, really strong because then she would have all these other stuff, like combined. She doesn't really have a good projectile like from a range, and she cannot really even though the armor is good, it doesn't really lead to anything unless you're using Mavado. But if she could have those two things, I think she would be like high. Uh, but Franco, what do you think?
Yeah, I still think she's an A tier character. I still see what's the Asher player's name I see on Twitter all the time. I want to say it's Desda or something. He uses like Asher
Yeah,
Sub
it's
Zero.
yeah.
He sees some or posts like some cool combos and stuff like that. But yeah, like I think she's like a really good all arounder, but she's not. He doesn't. She doesn't excel like in any one thing. She's just like literally like a jack of all trades kind of, and kind of more on the honest side. And with where like with how honest she is, she's not really doing anything too crazy like the top tiers are.
Yeah, fair enough. So I guess Franco, it's up to you where you place her. I like her maybe at the end of mid, high low. but it's up to you guys where you decide. Let's kind of move on, talk about Baraka. Um, I think Baraka is has definitely kind of fallen off. I used to I initially thought that when Striker got buffed, he's gonna be like this amazing character. But I think the power levels in this game have gotten so much higher because of, like these command grab characters who just loop you or do like 40%. That he has just kind of fallen out of the meta. I have him like really low, either mid, um, or even top of low because of, again, just cannot generate enough offense. It's no longer, the old meta. He could just like um, spam strings into grenades. You kind of have to block everything. He will build meter no matter what, even if you flawless blocked. But that really hasn't been relevant for a long time. So I just feel like he's a good character with like good footsies, good projectile, like good normals, just like good, and you can place with him. But you can just tell there's a difference between him and some of the other characters we will address later. Do you agree or disagree, Cowboy?
Yeah, I'd say he's mid low, somewhere around there. He's okay. I don't think he's, yeah, like you said, it's not just undoable, but he isn't like broke. I will say he is pretty brain dead, despite not being, like the
Yeah.
best character. His gameplay is pretty straightforward. But yeah, not a whole lot going for him.
Yeah, I think the Brazilian player who beat Sonic Fox a while ago,
Hmm.
Mateo, I think that's his name.
Yeah,
Like even he's like exploring, obviously using like Scorpion and some of the other top tier characters that we will, whom we will address later. Um, King Junior, your thoughts on Baraka?
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you guys. Like probably like a solid mid tier character. He does have like a really good jump in with the I think it's jump two. It's
definitely.
pretty
Yeah.
hard to anti air. His jump kick's pretty good. The aerial spin he can do. I know him and Striker have like pretty good synergy, and especially like buff Striker now. I know Mateo used the Baraka Tremor, but Baraka Striker can get really good damage with the gunshots and like the bleed from the meter burn projectile he can shoot. Like I think he could hit like 600 sometimes, and he has throw combos obviously. But yeah, I'd still say he's mid tier.
Let's move on and talk about Conan the Barbarian. So Conan, for me personally, I think the most annoying thing, like fighting him, is his like mid-range game. I don't remember what the normal is. That sword string, is it back or forward two? I don't remember which one. That has like a disjointed hitbox,
Four
Yeah.
two.
and it's so annoying. And then there's obviously the second hit. There's an armorable gap, but it's not like this game has like a lot of great armor anyway. So they just kind of spam that. You just kind of have to hold it. They dash, they throw you. He has a lot of health. Um, he has, oh my, yeah, his jump. He probably has the best jumping attack in the game, which is really, really, uh, can be, really annoying to deal with. So he really wants to play at that mid range, and he does very, very well. But I feel like he doesn't have the best mix-ups, right? He can be kind of free to certain like runaway styles, like against Sector, um, possibly Havoc, right? Who can kind of zone him a little bit. So those are his weaknesses. I have him like high mid tier because again, he does a lot of damage. He's great at that mid range. He's very difficult to whiff punish. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I mean, what do you think? Like, do you feel like you can out footsie this character?
No, no, you cannot footsie this character. I think though that the reason he's not like the best of the best is just because he's not quite as cheap. And I mean, similar to Ashra, although definitely think he's better than Ashra. Like his footsies are probably the best of the game, but it's still not like a footsie game.
Yeah.
So I still wouldn't say, but he's they downplay him. He's very underrated. That character in most matchups, I feel, can actually. Well, I shouldn't say. Let me back up. He can play in like two different ways. He can be extremely aggressive because of that half screen jump normal and his armor, and also of course the advancing string. But he's also like really good at turtling.
Oh yeah, I
Like
agree.
if you have to get in on him, it's not a good day because out footsies basically everyone. Huge damage off his combos. Good anti-air, 7 frame standing normal that hit conformable. Yeah, really strong character.
King Junior.
Yeah, I think if I'm not mistaken, I think we had him in our last list on the low end of A tier. Um, I think I would put him up a little higher than we did last time, just based off some sets I played after we had made that tier list. Yeah, the insane forward two range he has, the disjoint, the jump in, 1200 health with Shujinko, and he has, for some reason, they still never fixed his back throw damage that he gets. He gets like everybody gets just like the raw back throw is like 11 damage or something, but his has bleed damage and it's like 13, almost 14%. I don't know how the devs let that slip by and still let it continue to slip by. Um, yeah, I think he's not like one of the super heavy mixed characters, but he's still like really good. And stand one being like the best stand one in the game, how it's disjointed, fast whiff recovery, good range. So that's another thing too. And he also has a lot of armored moves.
Yeah, great points. Definitely some of the stuff that Cowboy I didn't mention. Yeah, I like that we kind of mentioned different stuff that we tend to forget. But yeah, he's just
I,
a
I
solid character. I would say. Go ahead.
I will say just quickly, I do think the throw is intentional. I never thought that was a mistake. Not to say that I think he needs that, but I feel like they just wanted him to have it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
It's just strange to me.
I didn't even know about that. Honestly, like I'm just completely
Yeah.
oblivious.
Yeah, it's just weird to me because I would imagine that every back throw, like raw back throw, would just be, the same all across the board. But I don't know. He's Conan, I guess, so he gets the Conan privilege in that regard.
Yeah. Again, I like different stuff and different. Like I think this game kind of already has a diversity problem. I think most modern fighting games do. So I like different stuff. So I think you should keep it. But let's move on. Talk about Cyrex. Cowboys is Cyrex an honest character?
Nope, no chance. No chance. Um, she's on my wish list of guttings for this next patch. Hopefully she makes it. Yeah. Yeah, I mean what dude, like she again, her footsies I think are meant to be her weakness, but she can still make it work. The grenade's still scary, even though they have the nerf. The bomb is forced movement no matter what. So even if she is kind of getting outzoned, she just needs the small opening and starts controlling the pace. Yeah, obviously, right. Loopable vortex, really, really brain dead. Multiple options she can enforce. Um, Maybe the backbreaker though is just her armored move is just crazy good. Like it's really fast. Kind of goes in the air, right? So you're not gonna jump over it or anything most of the time. And then, I mean, she gets a safe jump. After all that, right? You get hit by the armor and she gets a safe jump. I don't think there's many armor moves like that in the game. In fact, so yeah, really dumb. I'll just say too. Maybe this doesn't matter, but I really, really don't enjoy playing against her. Even it's not a win loss thing. Like whether I win or lose, it's not entertaining to me. I don't like Vortex characters.
Yeah, I agree. I think she's clearly one of the best characters in the game, and certain people like downplay and say only Sonic Fox is winning with her. That's I think one of the biggest lies I've ever heard in my FGC career. Because people don't watch this game enough, right? Because obviously the game is on the decline and has been for a while. But if you actually watch your demon lobbies, the Brazilian tournaments, um, even the
Yeah,
the Rips arenas, et cetera, right? She's literally on the screen almost all the time. Like people just use her nonstop, right? Yeah, Sonic Fox obviously is an exceptional player in the community, but other players do very well. So this myth that you know she's really not that strong, and only Sonic Fox can win with her. That's just a lie. Like that's not even true.
I agree. Yeah,
That's
there's.
not true.
I mean, our
Yeah,
scene is mostly online now, and that she has a lot of representation online.
she
So,
does. And it's not just by the way in the U.S. Also like again overseas and
mhm.
Brazil and Chile to a lesser extent. So I think she's very strong. To me, she's a top three character. Franco, do you agree?
Yeah, I mean, she's just cut and dry, like top three for sure. Like I don't have much to say. Like we already know what she's about, and me personally, she is annoying to fight. I agree with that. Uh, she has just pretty much everything in her. It feels like once you get into her set play, like it's so hard to get out of it. The odds like they literally are stacked against you with like all the bombs she could put on the ground when you're pinned down.
Yeah. Let's move on and talk about Ermac. Um, Franco, let's just go back to back. Go back to you. Ermac, what are you placing?
I still think he's a slept on top tier character. Like I know some people don't have him in S tier like I put him in. I still find him to be an S tier character, like at the highest level, and like I think people just don't want to play him optimally, like running away with the cancels, the build meter, turtle people with Death's Embrace, all that fun stuff. The only thing that really holds him back, like his biggest weakness is like his armored move being really slow and being a high. That's like really his major down like side. But outside that, everything else like he has a decent auto shimmy. His back two disjoint is really good. His down four is really good. Throw loops. So and lots of safe jump setups.
Cowboy, Ermac.
Yeah, I'd say probably S tier, or maybe the bottom of it, but still S tier. Yeah, just really crazy. Character again, kind of like Conan actually, or he could be very like hyper aggressive, and I mean, good luck because he can cancel off of basically anything into and if you get hit, you're eating a meaty ass combo. And then of course, yeah, he has strike throw, but his throw does very good damage because of Janet. Yeah, and then of course the second thing, like I said, kind of like Conan, is he can run away. He's very good at turtling. Can build meter while doing so with that move. It makes it so you can't really take health. So there's situations where the game's, the timer's running down and there's basically just nothing you can do. Yeah, really strong character, impressive footsies, okay armored move. I know it's not the best, but it can get the job done. I think he's an S tier character.
Yeah, for me personally, I would either place him at the end of S, like very, very top of whatever you want to call it, A plus, or S minus. Again, I don't want to get into the letters too much. So he's either like top tier or like high tier. Argue maybe you know either the first or second character at the in that high tier list if you want to put him in that one. So let's talk about Geras. Um, to repeat my question to Cowboy because I'm curious about the response. Cowboy, is Geras an honest character?
Nope. No, he's not.
uh,
Yeah,
Comments on Geras.
yeah. I would just say probably not quite S tier, but I think he's very high up there. I put him in A tier. And again, I know people will say, and it's part of the kind of larger issue with this game. Oh well, he has a weaker down one, or hey, his armor is just okay. But like, there are things that cover that. Because it's a cameo game. If you play your cards right, you're not going to be in a counter poking situation that often. Because Garrus mostly is run away, run away, run away, and then he'll kind of choose when to interact, whether he wants to do the overhead, which he can make safe with Lataro, or kind of spam the low. Or jump. He has a pretty good jump in too when he sets it up into pretty crazy ass offense with the clone setups. So yeah, I think he's very cheap. I think it's another thing where like he gets to impose his game plan on most of the cast, which is what kind of I think clutches him being like a great character. There are characters that are good that they can win, but it's pretty rare that they're making you play their game. Garrus is not that. He makes most characters play his game and kind of control it. So yeah, very strong.
I would say it before we obviously let the Geras player jump in. I would say that this game's defense is generally very weak, but he's honestly, aside from another character we'll reference to later, he probably has maybe the second or third best defense if when you consider everything that he can do. And what the Gears players have lied about for a long time, right? It's not the fact that he can break when he has the hourglass. It's the fact that he can break and get health back. That's the difference maker. So you're essentially finding a character who, Lord knows, maybe has like 15, you know, um, 15 health, right? 1500k health, right? Sorry, 15 health, right? So that's really that's what kind of makes him strong. So like if he has a lot of resources and you have to like chase him, you're not gonna win. Like it doesn't matter even if you're using a super top tier character, right? Like so kind of like the more resources that he has, the more difficult the matchup gets. That's kind of like his weaknesses other than his low jab. I do think that low jab is a major weakness. The arm, I think, is kind of exaggerated. But yeah, I also have him. I think he's better than Ermac. I would place him at the top of A. Franco?
You think he's better than Ermac?
Yeah.
Ooh, because I put Ermac in S tier and Garrus.
Well, I mean, we can. I get. We can. It's not so much. I think I don't want to rant too much. I think the point of it is just kind of like get a conversation going. If you think Ermac is better, then that's okay. I just think that the character, and I probably will agree with this. This character has better placements than Ermac. I mean, there's no question about.
100%.
Yeah, there's
He's
like.
more consistent because with
Yeah, he.
Ermac, like, you can. There are times when you'll be lamed out with Ermac, where you don't
Correct.
have like a
Correct.
safe way to get in. But that's just not happening to Garrus. He's always in because he does really high damage, and like I said, still pretty much always sets the tone. And
And he
yeah,
has.
on bar breakers.
And he has good offense, right? It's not like
Yeah,
he's
he does. He does.
a couple of other characters again we'll talk about later. Like he has a command grab, he has an overhead, he has a low,
Yep.
he has clone setups. Dude, give that stuff some of the characters who have no offense. They'll jump like 2 tiers immediately. So he pretty much has everything, right? He has, yeah. That what is that, Franco? That reaching mid in the neutral that you guys spam. Like,
Back one.
yeah, like it's a little bit on the slower side, right? But like that's the game. Most of the normals, unless you're Johnny Cage, are not really that fast anyway, right? So like he has pretty much everything. The only thing that I think is a legitimate weakness is he's kind of easy to shimmy, right? So if you're playing a character who's really oppressive in footsies, which we'll get to some of whom we'll discuss in a second, then yeah, like he's easy to shimmy, and if you press down one, you will get blown up for like 50%. I think that is a legitimate weakness. Everything else he pretty much has.
Well, if I guess if it's my turn to speak,
But yeah, go ahead.
um, yeah, those are all valid points and stuff. I'm gonna put him in A tier. I think Ermac is better than him personally, but um, like some matchups, I have Garrus losing like right off the bat. Cyrax, Homelander, those are, in my opinion, his worst matchups. But people like Michael Seraphan, I think he has Melina, and I don't agree with this one, but Lee May winning as well. Uh, Kung Lao winning, which I can see Kung Lao winning, honestly. Kale's beaten me in every set we played, and I think Kale has a winning record over MCF, and I know he has a winning record over Gur, at least offline. And some people that use Garrus also say that Takeda wins against him too, which I I think there's hope it could be 5-5, but it's really hard to reverse time on Takeda outside of his teleport. But if you can't reverse time in a situation where he's not using teleport, then it's kind of hard to reverse time on him because his combo is just space him out properly and like avoid reverse time or flat out stuff it. Um, Reiko might even be a losing matchup too. Honestly, it's hard to reverse time against him. But uh, those like Scorpion too. Scorpion's bad as well. But yeah, those are like some matchups that are pretty bad for him. And I think it's literally just there's a better batch of characters above him. Like outside that, I think he's obviously really good. Um, yeah, the reverse time, clone setups. Yeah, there's just like the down one in armor is really like his only main weaknesses, and maybe slower buttons. I don't know. I feel like you guys said most of his you know best attributes.
Yeah. Let's move on and talk about Ghostface. Honestly, I don't have much to say about this character. Very boring, 50-50, not even 50-50. It's like a vortex character with a command throw, essentially. Um, he's easily A tier. The only reason he's not S tier is because he he is pretty dependent, and he doesn't really have like a memorable projectile he can just throw out and like build tons of meter and then force you to come in and do his vortex. But other than that, it pretty much is everything. Great down one, good footsie tools, um, vortex, unreactable, um, overhead, unreactable low, unreactable command throw, and yeah, I mean, if you use him with Mavado or Striker, or I've seen even Tremor, or like any Scorpion. Obviously, like I don't have much to say. I don't like this. I wish he had been more of a kind of like a semi zoner, I guess, with the stance switching. But yeah, just do not like fighting against him. It's another Cyrex. I hate this character, Cowboy.
Yeah. Um, it's hard to know how to feel because yeah, he is really cheap. Another character who just really is not fun to play against, honestly. Like even win or lose, just it's not entertaining because yeah, his game plan is boring. It's just a vortex. I would say probably bottom of A. He doesn't have great neutral. I think there are characters who can definitely shut him out. Um, armor move is just kind of whatever, very punishable. Teleport's just okay. So yeah, I would say probably bottom of A. Even though I do think I agree he's cheap.
King Junior, what say you about Ghostface?
Yeah, I think I want to say like maybe his downsides are like not the best armored move, and like I'm pretty sure his movement's not the best. Like I know he can like teleport behind you with like the stance switch if he like spins a bar or something to get in. But yeah, he's just pretty much vortexing you, and uh, his enforcer stance having the 6 frame normal uh, that I still think kind of goes underutilized. But then the assassin stance with the knife throw and the cancels and the react or the unreactable overhead. Yeah, he's just pretty much mixing you, and Tremor obviously gives him the hard to block situations, and Movado gives him like the conversions and the command grab combos. Scorpion can do the same with the grab combos. Hey, so he's pretty flexible on the cameo side, and he's mainly just vortexing you, like you guys said. And he has really good staggers and like frame data on his normals and strings, and meterless restand too.
Oh yeah, we didn't and like what is the jab string that they spam? The jab.
One
That's like
two
you
or
said.
1-2-2, 1-2-3.
Yeah. Yeah, if you mix it up with this command, with this command, so you're not gonna be able to react to all that. On top of the overhead and the low. So yeah, he pretty much has everything. But like Cowboy said, I think correct accurately. He pointed out that doesn't necessarily like have some of the very best armor, some of the very best neutral too. So he can be kind of lamed out depending on the matchup. So I think I do agree with Cowboys. Probably like towards the middle, the lower, high or A tier, whatever you want to call it. Um, well, let's move on. Talk about Havoc. Uh, the next two characters, the next two characters will be fun to talk about. Cowboy, what do you rank Havoc? Have the nerfs ruin him?
No, he's the same, if not better, because of Striker. Um, yeah, no, he's an S tier character, probably the best in the game, honestly. I've talked about it before, but yeah, basically it's just because you're always at a disadvantage, pretty much. The Blood Ball makes it so he doesn't really get out footsied by many characters. Has a really ridiculous normal with back two, very good jump in, a good down poke, and then yeah, even when you're right, even when you hit him, you guess right, you're then still just guessing into a favorable situation because he has that armored move. Two of them actually. One that if he thinks you're gonna try and do something tricky, he'll just use the low. And the other one, yeah, you just most characters just can't break. So yeah, even when you hit him, you're at a disadvantage. He's a really dumb character. I hope he gets nuked.
Franco, what do you think about Havoc?
I think of all the top tiers, he's like the I don't know. I don't mind him so much, but maybe it's because I use Garrus, and uh, I think he's the one of the more bearable top tiers. Like I think people still kind of lack basic fuzzies against him, even after his mix-ups got a little nerfed, and flawless blocking is armored. His helping hand, some people still aren't doing too much. I'm not saying it's the easiest thing ever, but it does really help out if you can do that when you're enforcing your offense on his Oki or with your Oki against him. Um,
Well, sorry, I just interject here. I mean, how do you do that when he has like five other things he can do in neutral?
like I think you have enough time to like if you're already committing the block on his when you have him on the ground, if you're already committing the blocking low, I think you still have enough time to react to his helping hand and flawless block punish it. But
I think it's more of a read personally, because he can just low poke, he can jump, like he can do anything, or he could use the low armored move, which you're not fuzzying that, and the overhead,
what overhead are you talking about
or
after?
not the overhead. I mean the multi hitting armor. Yeah,
Oh, I see, I see.
it's impossible to defend against it all at once. I really just don't think you can.
Between just those two, I think you can cover both of them. Like if you're just holding block for the low and then you see the helping hand. But yeah, like if he does like wake up buttons, you might lose your turn. I don't think you'll be able to. Yeah, you have to commit.
No, there's no way. I, th- now a Havoc player. There's no
What?
way you can do that. There's absolutely no way. If he does 1-1, which is like what +3, right? So if then there's the overhead, and there's the low, then you can do one backdash, right? So the reason that um, Franco talks Havoc in this manner has is 100% related to gear. It says like most gonna like Cowboy said accurately, like you cannot account for all the options. Like you can do 1-1. Obviously, there's an overhead 1-1. There's a low. Yeah, you can fuzzy guard that, but like if you fuzzy guard it, then you're blocking. So you can do 1-1, 1-1 again, right? Or you can do 1-1 and backdash. And if you do down one, which is what Franco does do a lot, I could just easily whip punish with back two, right? Or you can do 1-1 into helping hand. You can do, you know,
Well,
uh,
to be fair, I was specifically talking about on wake up. I'm not saying entirely at any given like moment.
yeah. So I
I was just
It's one and the
specifically
same
talking.
though, because you can do wake up buttons too.
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. At that point, yeah, you probably. I'm not saying you could
Yeah,
cover that as well, but
let me just say this though. I think I agree with uh Franco to this extent. I don't think he has the best offense, right? Like I don't think his offense is
Right.
like as uh Cyrax's or like Ghostface's, right? It's not in that category, but
No.
you have to keep in mind that this is essentially the only like defensive character who's actually good at defense. And I know good is maybe an understatement, but like he's actually great at defense, right? So because you have to respect him, and he also has great projectiles. Uh, if you're trying to play defensive and make people respect you at mid range and pretty much all ranges, this is the character you use, and you will do extremely well. And I think he's kind of built for that. And obviously, he has just enough, well, if not more, offense to make you respect him, right? Because everything is kind of like it's always you have to when you play Havoc, you always have to question yourself, like, am I going to interrupt here? And if I do, am I going to be safe? And if I do, is the armor coming? And if I do, is he going to jump back? Like, is he going to like? There's
Right.
always that question, and I think he is he's the tremor of this game. You constantly have to question your decisions. Am I going to poke back or not? And if I do, am I going to get hit into grenades? Are grenades coming? Is the armor coming? Is a backdash back two coming? Like that's the character in a nutshell, and that's why his offense works.
yeah, I think yeah, and like he does have like grenade mind games too and stuff after his armor as well. So I will say where Garrus comes into play, like my maybe like I said, and I'm willing to admit my bias against Havoc as a Garrus player because I can do like trade combos that are in my favor sometimes if I read the timing on grenades, I can do time stop and get a full combo on trade. Or if I just get opened up by like a 50% combo, I can reverse time and get most of my health back usually. So I understand that's like
Yes.
a Garrus specific scenario.
So yeah, T1000 can't do that.
Yeah, so like
Yeah,
when I play Dave sometimes like with other characters like Reiko or Raiden or whatever other characters, I'm like, yeah, Garrus is definitely privileged against Havoc in some areas.
yeah, and the thing is, his damage. Um, I love when people use meter on me because I'm just like, yes, yes, please use meter. Because I know if I hit you and I have full striker, it's 50% or it's 62, whatever, when I have failable, right? So I essentially turn into Ermac. So this character is easily S tier. I don't believe he's the best because of the next character we'll discuss here. But like and you can argue maybe Cyrix is better too, because he doesn't have that type of offense. In my humble opinion, he's either the second or the third best. And I don't think I'm downplaying when I say that, am I?
He could be the best, but yeah, I'm not gonna be upset about that.
Yeah, yeah. But let's move on. Talk about Homelander. Cowboy, what do you rank Homelander?
The best character in the game, number one. Yeah. Yeah, I think he literally. And again, it's a case of I mentioned this earlier. Not to say that I think Garrus is anywhere near Homelander, but it's like yeah, he has quote unquote weaknesses like the low poke and the armor, but again, it's a cameo game that's not centered on neutral, so that those type of things just don't matter very much. His armor, even though it's kind of slow, you can wake up, then you're guessing because of Farah. There's different timings to cover different options. So again, type of character where you hit him and you're guessing. Really just oppressive neutral. Cannot react to the dash. He enforces mix when he wants. Absurd footsie to forward four that for some reason has super heavy cancel advantage, so you can't even really interrupt it. Yeah, character is just crazy. Really not fun to play against either. I'll add best in the game.
King Jr., what are your thoughts on Homelander?
I'm not giving more than 5 seconds on my response to this character. Um,
Wait, what?
oh no, well, I was trying to make a joke on how much I hate the character, and I don't really want to talk about him
Uh,
for the same reasons
uh,
Cowboy pretty much said. But
uh,
yeah, he's not fun to fight against. He's baby food, spoon fed, like you know, um, very easy to use and super top tier. And yeah, he's my least favorite character to fight against.
that's one thing I don't want to get into too many arguments, but that's one thing I will disagree. I don't think he's as scrubby as people say. Yes, he is the best. I think he's better than Havoc. I think he's better than Cyrax. But I don't think he's as easy to use as people say. But yes, he pretty much um, has everything you need, and that dash is essentially like a run button. I mean, that's essentially what it is. It's a run button with a command throw attached to it.
Yep.
And then he has exceptional synergy with Farah. And honestly, even if he didn't have to use Farah, I think, you know, I've seen like Jags, people do well with that. Uh, I think there's a player in Brazil. He uses Jags uh, with Homelander. I think there's one other cameo that they use. So yeah, I think he would like even without Farah, like he would probably still be like low S tier,
I've
which is
still
crazy,
seen
right?
Tremor Homelander too.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I'm forgetting that one. Yeah,
I'm
I
pretty
I feel
sure
bad.
somebody from either Brazil or Europe used that team before. Um, I know I've seen Janet and Chameleon as well. Um, and his walk speed is freaking phenomenal. It's like unholy.
Oh yeah, the back one. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah, it's really really hard to contest. Yeah, I think he's the best, and I don't think we need to talk about him too much longer. Let's move on to Johnny Cage, Cowboy.
Really strong character. Just a little power craft. I would still say. I mean, some people, I guess Europeans say he's like one of the best, which I think that's interesting. Um, I though would put him probably at the top of A, like high tier character, not a top tier. But yeah, he has basically everything. Really, really strong jump normal. Great footsies, the best counter poking, counter punishing in the game. And since it's a cameo game, he can get him basically whenever he wants. I mean, yeah, he doesn't have a projectile, but there's plenty of ways to cover that and put yourself at an advantage. So I think he's got everything you need. Great armored move too. Just not quite as dirty as Homelander at them.
Yeah, I think it's the fact that he probably has to throw a lot at some point. Like not throw a lot, but like he has to represent the throw, right? And he doesn't really get a lot of throw combos, a lot of the cameos. So, uh, but yeah, like great movement. Essentially, forget that the he doesn't even need the cameos, right? Because he just can kind of like, uh, inch his way forward. I ran into attack potency and who's the Omni Man player, and he uses like Johnny Cage as a secondary, and it was very hard even with Havoc. Like I don't want to imagine. Like, it's so hard. Like he just gets in whenever he wants, and it's very very difficult to deal with. And he's gonna throw you, and then it's a guess, right? Because he has the 9 frame mid. You never know what's coming. And yeah, it's hard. It's really really hard. I think he is top of A somewhere. Not quite S tier, like as good as Havoc or Cyrax or Homelander, but I think he's up there. He is like top A tier. Franco.
Yeah, he's always been really good, and yeah, he has been getting power crept over the patches. Like, it's hard for me to like. I think there could be a debate of him being S tier, but like, it's really hard for me to put him in S tier sometimes because his he doesn't directly have mix. Like you said, he has to rely on throws, and sometimes you can just get killed for trying to throw if you just get micro ducked on or something or whatever the case may be. So like sometimes like if he has to make a comeback from a life lead deficit, like it can be hard to do that when you're just limited to throws. Um, but at the same time, like he does feel really complete outside of just not having a projectile. So yeah, I think top of A tier is probably like where I would put him too. He does have down one special into ambush with some characters like Tremor and other cameos, which is really good.
Yeah.
And he has
Um.
the anti throw tech that's like really hard to do, but you seen Sonic do it on the one of the Chileans in Final Combat in previous the first Final Combat I think it was. You know what I'm
Yeah,
talking
he's a
about?
character. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. I think he overall like he's a character. If you like pressure, and you're not obviously a zoning player like or defensive player. And by the way, he still has a 2 bar invincible wake up. I think that still like serves its purpose and can be useful, right? Um, because it is invincible and you can do it into the grenades or whatever. So I think he's a character like if you like him and you like the type of gameplay, so you can easily place, right? Can you win a major, major, major tournament? I don't know, right? But like you can definitely do well for sure.
Yeah,
So
he does have like a high execution barrier with the hype combos, and
yeah,
um,
he has that. Yeah, that's true.
he I do think you have to be pretty like you have to be a pretty fundamentally good player to use him. Like you might have to whiff punish things purposely. Like you might have to like do micro backdashes to whiff punish certain pokes or something. You know what I mean? So he's definitely got like a execution barrier and some not too simple game plan.
Yeah. Moving on. Cowboys. Kenshi bottom five.
No chance. That character, I can't believe how downplayed he is. Yeah, I
What
mean,
do
it's just
you
another character where you just don't get to play if you make even one mistake, or locked into a really terrible guessing game.
where do you rank him?
Yeah,
I agree that he's on play. Where do you rank him though?
he's an A tier at least. I mean, again, and the other thing is, even without Sento, it's like, yeah, sure, he has to work a little bit for the hit, but he has super strong movement, really good footsies, can't really be zoned. I, yeah, I just don't see the problem. I think he has basically everything you need.
Uh, I agree with Cowboy that I don't like these. I don't want to call them new players because they're very talented, but these younger players, I should say, like the way they talk about him is is so hilarious to me. I just don't know, like, how can a character who makes you mix like well for 10 seconds straight, how can he be like low tier?
Because it's not 15 seconds anymore. He's unplayable. Yeah.
Oh, but guess what? Now there's striker, and now they have to do a full screen evading projectile move into the machine gun. Like I just don't understand, but like, it's so funny to me. And there are more hot takes that they have that I will that I have to make that I have to poke fun at later. But like to me, I agree with Cowboy. I think he's easy A tier. I do think the fact that he can kind of be turtled, depending with the character. Like like if you have to get in a home laner, like of course with Kenshi you're gonna struggle, right? Like, and I can understand why that matchup would be bad or maybe Havoc, even Cyrax, whatever. But other than that, I don't understand why this character would be bad because especially with Striker, and again he gets results. Like there are people who have put in the work and they place well, right? Like
Yeah,
Conqueror, yeah. So I don't understand why he would be bottom five. I think that's just absolutely absurd.
it's nuts. Yeah.
Franco, what do you rank Kenshi?
I'm
People trying to
glad
say
that
fucking Punchy's better. Get the fuck out of here.
yeah, I still don't
It's
understand
okay.
the downplay. Um, I'm really glad that he got nerfed the way he did because he before Homelander he was my least favorite character to fight, and it always felt like a one player game. Like whether he made you block something into ambush and then Sento summon, or he throws you Sento summon. And Kenshis have only optimized their combos over time. Like there's combos now that knock you down, and then he can do a free Sento recall with the bar meter and get Oki, and he just recharged Sento and is now getting Oki. So he's going to armor break whatever you have on wake up. So you're just pretty much forced to block again. And yeah, I don't see him being bottom five, and he might have like some bad matchups like Garrus and some S tier characters, but like there's no way he's bottom tier. It's ridiculous.
Yep. Let's continue this conversation. Talk about Kitana. So this is an well, this is on the reverse side now. Like this character has been outplayed to such comical proportions. Like I don't understand. Like I mean, I guess to challenge Cowboy here. Like yes, she has good footsie. So what? You said the game was not about footsie. So why would she be this? I don't know. Like good character. To me, no overheads, gaps and strings, no plus strings. She has some decent projectiles, but like who cares? Like the game is not about zoning anyway. So honestly, with Katana, if I lose, I feel like I just got outplayed. Like the other person literally like he made me whiff something, and then she whiff punished me, and I ate a huge combo. Or in the one circumstance where she's actually strong when she corners you, right? And then she does the vortex thing um with that whatever that thing on the ground is. I forget its name. But like she's not Johnny Cage. She's not gonna bully you to the corner. That's not the character. She doesn't have the frame data. She doesn't have the speed of the normal. She doesn't have the frame advantage on block, etc., etc. So I think she's low tier. I don't understand why this character would be good.
I mean, it's crazy to say she's low tier. I don't agree with that at all.
Well, what are the results? Almost nobody uses her. Almost nobody plays
She
as
plays this
her. Well,
online pretty frequently.
not really. I've watched everything. I never see her place. Like General Shao places, and and I don't think I have him in S tier like at all. And I think he's infinitely better than she is. I don't understand the upplay here. By your own standards, your definition of what makes a character good in this game doesn't match what she has or lack thereof.
Right, but it's not. It goes beyond footsies though. Like you literally can't move against this character. She has that
Why?
damn projectile because she has multiple things that launch you from any part of the screen. That's
Dude,
something
that move is not that
she's
good.
never had that kind of shit before in any other
That move
MK
is not
game.
that good at all. I understand. So I think that move is not that good.
That move is extremely good. Like you
Dude,
can't do anything about it. She just gets
dude,
to throw it out.
I outzone her with Havoc.
Oh, okay, try zoning her and getting hit by that shit. Are you fucking kidding me?
Are you
Dude,
talking about just for context? Are you talking about the crouching fan, the meter run crouching fan?
Yeah, like you are not zoning that character. What the fuck are you talking? If you're zoning, then you're just
Havoc?
playing against shitty. Okay, or even actually, okay, Havoc would be an exception, but I'm not saying she's on his level.
I will outzone her with Havoc, with Sector, and with Kung Lao.
You will
Easily.
not beat a good katana with Kung Lao.
I will
Not gonna
because
happen.
well, I will not now because my fatal is ass. But like easily before that, I would easily
I mean, who
outzone her.
cares? No, it doesn't matter.
No, her zoning is not that good. And with Havoc, you really think you're gonna hit that thing against like projectile that's 45 frames of roof recovery? You're insane. You're insane. You are
Again, I don't
insane.
care. We're talking about Havoc, the best character in the game. Not every character is like him.
Well, I mean, it's not like you have a lot of options when you play a zoning in this game. Like a lot of decent projectiles. Again, I stand by my uh, analysis. I think she's low tier. Nobody even uses her. Like very few people do. And if you also her armor is stocked, has no range. It was a lot better than KX.
Armored
Uh,
launcher.
yeah, she needs it, and she
She
needs
has an
more
armored
range.
launcher.
Yet it has no range.
Doesn't
And
matter. You use it in counterpoke situations. The fuck does that matter?
a wake up is super easy to bait.
It's not that easy. Again, because she can wake up buttons. Like there's still mind games to it.
Again, I stand by my definition. Your definition changes. She has no
No,
offense.
she breaks footsies. It's not she's a footsie character. You just
Okay,
can't
okay,
move against her
we can
unless
talk
you're like,
about
yeah,
this.
the best.
Who has better footsies, Havoc or Kitana?
Havoc.
You're making a lot of
Yes.
Havoc comparisons though.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
because I'm
what?
using her because she's
That's not
good. I'm
proving
sorry.
anything. He's the best one of the best characters in the game. I'm not saying that
All
she is.
she's supposed to be the footsie goddess, yet characters who are above her have all better footsies for the most
Yeah,
part. Like,
Havoc, an S tier broken character. What's your
but check this
point?
out. Well, here's my point. So, what is it? Back 2-4? That has a
Yes.
gap. Havoc is the same string. There has no gap. It leads to the 50-50 mix up. What is this character? She
Who
sucks.
cares? You've
Not
said
good.
yourself, who cares about gaps? You have verbatim said that like 100 times.
Okay, fair enough. But Havoc is the same thing. It leads to 50-50, dude, into like 40%. If she
Again,
had that, yeah,
so
then yes,
again,
she
I
would
don't
be
know why
good.
you're
Like, I agree
mentioning
with you.
this because Havoc is better. No
Well,
one's questioning that.
well, if she's gonna have this weakness, then she should either have better zoning
Like
or
it
better
doesn't just
offense.
because she doesn't have the same thing as the one of the best characters in the game doesn't mean that she's not one of the better characters.
Conan has better footsies than her, easily. You know this is true.
Yeah, he's also way up there.
Well, I don't know where you would put her, and I want to let Franco jump in. I think she's massively over it, and I do think she's low tier.
That's stupid.
Oh my god. I love the cowboy line of "that's stupid." Oh man,
Yeah,
it brings me back to Injustice.
goddamn right.
No,
I'd
but
say I mean bottom of A, upper B. But Dave probably would say like C because he's dumb.
Yeah, of course. Because
Of course he's dumb.
my
Yeah.
standard my standard my
yeah.
standard. It's not that I'm dumb. It's like I have a consistent standard. Like I don't rate my standard based on whatever. Uh, based on my based on the character. Like I stand by what I say. I think the game is about offense. And she has crap feces offense. Like that's not even debatable. Like yeah, if she had an overhead like she did an MKX, and if she had better armor like she did an MKX, if she had
She
faster
has
stuff
good
like she did an
armor. That's
MKX,
a stupid point.
I think her armor is one of the worst.
So because it doesn't go half screen, it's bad. Like that's just dumb.
Dude, that's the game. You don't. Why are you changing your standards based on the character? Like be
Only a,
consistent.
no. You're comparing her to Havoc. Well, yeah, I agree. Her armor doesn't have the same range, but it's not fair to use that as the standard because he is obviously a top three character. She can still be good without having that.
Yeah, I would say like
She
she
has no offense. She has no offense. You have to outplay the other guy in footsies
She has a vortex,
in the corner. If she had anywhere to screen,
which
then
is
yeah.
still a vortex.
yeah, I would say
Well,
like her strengths are like yeah, sure they're not like S tier strengths. Like she does still really hit hard. She can use her armor in gaps like against her opponent. Sure, it's not good on defense. Like on wake up, it's not like one of the best, but she still can. It's better than like uh, I don't know Garrus's armored move because he can't combo off his armored move. Like if he lands it on a grounded opponent. Uh, I was gonna compare her armor to Natara, but Natara can like ambush into like Tremor, I think, or like Kung Lao teleport or Motaro teleport to combo. But my point is, her armor is good enough to where she can at least exploit gaps with it, maybe even anti-air with it. She does have the vortex with the bomb. Um, if she has throw combos with some characters with or some cameos, I mean. So I mean, me personally, I think she's a B tier character, but I don't think she's C tier at the moment. At least, maybe like when we put more characters on the list, maybe I'll put her in C tier. But I feel like I'd definitely keep her. Like I think I would put her in B tier at the moment.
okay, fair enough. I mean, again, I disagree, but like I'm gonna move on talk about Kung Lao.
Oh, and she
Kung Lao
gets
was nice.
crazy plus frames off her the fan bomb, whatever that wave move she does, like the I don't know what you would call it. I'm just gonna call it the fan wave. I don't know what the actual move's called, but the move that she got buffed in one of the recent patches. Oh, and another thing that doesn't really get talked about a lot is sometimes her fan bombs don't go away on hit, or no, they don't like at all. So like
Unless
You
you
have
hit
to,
her super early, they don't. Yeah, it doesn't happen.
yeah, you have to be careful trying to contest it because if you try to contest it, you might end up getting launched for it. And yeah, sure, you could say, oh, just block and wait for it to disappear, but then she might be able to throw you, or she's just going to get in on you. And, I get it. Like, she's pretty limited on offense outside of doing armor, like,
Oh no,
disrespectfully or
Katana's
grabs,
gonna get
but
in on me. What am I gonna do? Oh my gosh, she's so scary. Like, stop. Nobody gives a damn. Just use a fucking top tier. All of them body this fucking character. Trust me, that's the reason I never use her anymore. She needs better armor. She needs better projectiles, and then she's better offense. Not like great overhead. Like give her just an overhead that locks down. Then we could talk about this character actually being useful, and then you will actually see people use her and place with her.
I do wish Retro would have been able to compete more. I think we would have seen more results with the character if he was traveling more. Uh, I don't know if he competed online much, but yeah, he was the character, or like in my opinion, outside of Face Al, like early MK1, he probably represented Katana the most. Retro.
Ooh, yeah, he does deserve a shout out. But let's move on and talk about Kung Lao. So Kung Lao was my former main character. The reason I wouldn't like if I had to, you know, use my own money and um, travel for this game, and the reason why I wouldn't want to use Kung Lao in those circumstances is because obviously he's been powercraft by the Striker boss, right? Because a lot of the characters they got better because of Striker, and obviously what once was the best available in the game is now essentially has been reduced to a combo starter, whatever combo ender, combo starter, whatever you want to call it. The sector fatal blow has been completely obliterated. In fact, you get punished for having good reactions now. So if you see Liu Kang or even Katana now do their projectiles, which have crouching, have crouching animations in them, and you do the fatal blow too early, you get punished because it just whips. So it's it's I don't I'm not too passionate about fighting games anymore to the extent I will blow up the developers, but in this case I will. Like what a joke. So what's the point of this fatal blow? Like it doesn't do what it's designed to do. And I once fought uh, Franco, we had a series. He was using Geras with Sector. He literally saw me do the projectile, and I did it, and it kind of whiffed, or like, it's like, what's the point of this move? Why is the move even in the game? Like, it really doesn't work. Like, either give it back the armor, or, you know, uh, make it a mid. Like, what's the point of this
Hold on,
move?
I'm
It
gonna
doesn't
interrupt.
do
This is
it.
so stupid.
Eh,
You're arguing for a
I
move that would absolutely never have been the way that it was. Like we would play, and there would just be times where I can literally not do anything because if I have any movement, yep, instant punish, full screen away, doesn't matter. And then even if I bait it, I don't get anything. And by the way, it's still safe on block unless you're like close. Like that is
It's a
just
high.
ridiculous,
I
dude.
yeah,
It's
I
a
knew
high.
this was gonna be this is gonna be one of the
How dumb.
spiciest moments of the podcast of this
You
episode.
somehow think that a move that like makes it so the other person literally can't do anything was okay? Like get the fuck out of here.
I'm fighting Cyrax. Why the fuck
Who
do I? Why the?
cares? She's not
I
okay
care.
either.
I know you have your imagining world where everything gets nerfed to garbage and we play MK11 again, but no, I don't want that type of game anymore. Like, I think it was okay. I think the armor obviously was broken. When something is broken, I do call it as it is. But I think pre-patch the move was fine. Like, I don't give a damn. Flawless block it. You have options. It's hard. Like, it's still. I mean, I had
That
rather deal
doesn't
with that.
matter. It's still not punishable unless you're close.
I think the move was fine. What's the point of the move now? It's just a combo
You
extension.
use it as a combo extent. Yeah, exactly. You use it in situations where you can't combo before. Like Quan can do that actually with that move.
You wouldn't use that cameo with Quan anyway. That's just a massive cop out.
I've used it with him a lot actually. It's not true.
Well, well, I think there's another cameo that's clearly better with Quan than Sector. Sector now is obviously still a top cameo, but not like super top, right? Not like as good as Tremor and Striker. But
Right.
yes, the Death Fatal Blow went from like broken to the best to useless, essentially. That's what's going on, and that's just bad balance.
No,
But
it's bad for
anyway,
the
the
game.
point is what Kung Lao. There's no point in using him anymore because of one, he got power crap the fuck out of. Sector, again, that fatal blow is it's a joke. It doesn't even work properly. Like you get punished for having the reactions to react to a projectile. So I react to Kitana doing a projectile. It literally randomly whiffs because it doesn't have any, the mid hitting frames anymore. So like, what's the point of the move? Like, essentially it's a combo tool, and he got destroyed by that. Like you lose now for having good reactions as a zoning player. Good job, NRS. Good job. So now zoning players get even, they're even worse off. So he went from I think mid, and I was always the guy who like upplayed the character, and I think he was strong. But now he's like mid, low mid tier, just because of that, and obviously the striker stuff. And there's no reason to use him over Havoc. You're just wasting your time. Havoc has a better projectile in most matchups, has better armor, has better footsies, has more damage, is more resource dependent. Like every time I use Kung Lao for like, I'm like thinking, what am I doing? Like I could do the same thing with Havoc and like 5 times better. And not even with Havoc, also with other characters. Even Sector, I don't think even that character is even that strong. So buff this character. Make back one a low. Uh, make they keep the overhead as it is. I don't think it should be better. Make back one a low. Bring back the Sector fatal blow and maybe one other buff, and he will be okay. That's my rant. You guys' turn.
Okay. Uh, um, the cameo sector fatal blow. I know stemmed from Kung Lao. Um, so I was for the longest time against how the fatal blow was before, and I'm usually one for high power levels and stuff like that and obnoxiousness. I didn't like the aspect of it, literally keeping you frozen and not moving and stuff. Like you could not breathe against that thing pre-patch. Like at its best, it had the faster startup frames. It tracked low and high, so it was a mid. It literally like almost never missed. So, but how it is now is definitely really bad. Like yeah, like Dave said, it went from like the best fatal blow in the game to now the worst. And I've tried using it myself. Uh, what he said is true. And even outside of our sets, I've tried using it in like Combat League, and it's whiffed on me like at times against like Liu Kang's low fireball and some other things. I do think it would be fair if it just didn't have armor and had the previous tracking. I think it would be a lot better. I think it would be more balanced if it had the previous tracking and just stayed without armor. But that's just me. But it did take a lot of arguing for me to agree with Dave on that because I was also a big hater on it before.
Where do you place Kung Lao though? And I will ask Cowboy the same thing. Where do you guys ultimately place Kung
Oh
Lao?
yeah, I'd probably put Kung Lao mid A tier.
Cowboy.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I agree with that.
He still
I
has
think
Movado too.
Lao was yeah, Lao was a
Yeah.
good character. The Kale still does work with him. I really don't see any problem.
Well, then try using the character. There's your problem.
I guarantee you my Lao would be better than yours, 1000%.
Well, prove it.
Nah,
Fight
I
my
don't feel like
fight,
it.
fight my habit with your Kung Lao. Let's see how you do.
So again, this is so dumb. You're compare again because he's not better than Havoc. He's just not good. Okay, got it.
Cowboy. How many options do we have for defense in this damn game? Like, I'm sorry, I'm comparing him to the characters that actually matter. And
But okay, first of all, they shouldn't be that way either, and I hope they get nerfed. Hopefully they do. Second, even though it's not the same thing, it's still good.
I think Kung Lao is a good character. Just no reason to use him because of the stuff that I mentioned. Like, is he fun to use? Hell yeah, he is. I like using him. I think he's very very fun. The problem is that there are other characters, and by the way, it's even Sector. Like, if you want to play that gameplay style, there's just better options, and not just one character, maybe two, even maybe three, right? If you want to play defensive, just use Gearus. Gearus does everything better. So This character has been power crept and he needs buffs. If you guys are scared of the fatal blow, I understand. Fair enough. You guys are wussies. But let's
It wasn't fun to fight against, bro. Like we played,
hey,
it was
make ba-
miserable.
make back three a mid. Like I'm sorry, make back three a low then. Like make back three a low. That's the there's a gap. Yes, the 50-50, but it can be fuzzy guarded. Like he needs more options. He's a character who's been powercraft already. So if you guys are scared of the fatal blow, which is understandable, then make him better. Like make him better in ways that are relevant to the meta.
Yeah, I think if they gave him any buffs, I think they should definitely buff his his limbs, like his reach. He could use some more reach, I think, for sure.
Well, let's move on and talk about Lee May. I have Lee May as low tier cowboy.
Yeah, middle B, I would say. She really strong footsies, but not so oppressive as like some of the better characters. Just very stubby normals for sure, but big damage. Great Punisher. She has tools. She just has to work harder than the best characters.
Franco.
I have high hopes for this character, like maybe in like a Necro era. Um, I might have said that in the last podcast too, but like last tier list episode. But she's definitely one of the hardest characters I think to master, being that she has like stubby limbs, the 7 frame reversal that can punish low pokes. Her combos aren't the easiest. She has a lot of cameo variety, but she doesn't have like one cameo that like completes every like fills every box in. Sometimes you'll see her with Movado, Janet, Scorpion. Um, I've even seen Farah for like the up kick ambush. It's weird, but uh, yeah, she kind of has a cameo syndrome, and I think at her best, I could see her being like low B tier. Um, she does have a really good projectile too, like really fast whiff recovery. She could also do in the air as well. Um, but yeah, her one of her better normals, like forward four, is like very high risk. It's got like a unsafe ender that you can't confirm, so it's very committal. So I would say at her best, I would say she's like low B tier.
She's a character who's hurt by the cameo system. She doesn't have the perfect cameo. If she could have like Scorpion's damage with like Kung Lao's low hat, right? She would be like easy high tier, right? I'm sure you guys would agree, right? But she can't. She kind of has to choose between: am I gonna have better zoning and better footsies? Am I gonna have better, uh, or am I gonna have better combo damage and mix-ups, right? So she kind of has to choose. And that in this game, you don't want to choose. You want to have it all, right? Or at least as much as you can, right? You want you want that plate where you have the the dumplings and the rice and and the fish and the chicken, right? So that's what you want. But she kind of has to choose and like, okay, you can have this, but you kind of have to get rid of this from your plate, right? Like I think that's her problem. And
Yeah,
it kind of again it's kind of related to the refer the reference that I made with Ashra earlier, right? Like if Ashra could have Serena and Movado in the same cameo, then she would also be high tier, right? But she cannot. She has to choose, and that's kind of like the definition of a low tier character in this game, because you want to have it all. You don't want to choose. Do you guys agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, she has to make choices, whereas the top tiers don't.
Yeah. Uh, let's talk about Liu Kang. I think Liu Kang is a mid tier character, but he's solid. Essentially, he has everything except his mid range game sucks, and being that this is Mortal Kombat 1, his fireballs, while they're good, like they're just like, uh, like, they're just like, okay. But I will admit that you know, the fast traveling high fireball with Motaro, that can be really threatening.
yeah, the
But that's
flying
because,
kick.
yeah, that's because it leads to combos. you know,
Yeah,
yeah. But other than that, like, if he's trying to zone you with like a traditional way, without the cameo, without the Motaro, like, I feel like it's just too honest. It's not that strong. But I do see Sunya using him in certain matchups when Sector doesn't work. So I think he's decent. He's decent.
Yeah, I think he's slightly downplayed. I've said this. He has basically everything you need. He is strike throw, but he gets combos with his best cameos. Um, Really very just brain dead auto shimmy, probably the best in the game. Just does the string and has a bunch of strings that are high too, but really fast hitting. So it's you just never really know when he's going to stop. And then yeah, I mean, good luck zoning him. I'm sure there maybe are a couple characters who can, but I think he actually screws over a lot of people who are zoners,
Yeah,
just because his
especially with
projectiles are
Taro.
fast and eat him up.
Yeah, and with Taro as well, right? Because he's gonna have the
Right, that
reflect.
too.
So,
He's really good. He's downplayed, I think. I don't think he's top tier, but you can win with him.
um, Franco, where do you stand on Liu Kang?
I think he's a B tier character. Like his 4/4 armor breaks pretty well. The frame data is really good on it. It's like barely minus. Um, his he has one of the best down ones in the game. His down three is pretty good. His sweep is plus on block and is like very fast. He has plus frames kind of like all around his kit, like 2-2. Stand one's like plus three, I think, and it's 6 frame startup. He gets better damage off his standing one now with the previous buff he got, so he has a meterless launching stand one now, for like I think 22% or something, like no cameo bar. Um, his jump kick's really good. It hits on both sides. Instant air fireball is pretty decent. Like if you can get the really low instant airs down. I know a lot of people do like the whiff jump kick into it, like the ninja killer or whatever. Um, I think he would be a lot better too if he could jail into Motaro with other things outside of stand four, but he kind of has like gaps in that regard with cameo use. But in his dash movement's not the best. It's very short. Um, his walk speed's pretty good though. Um, yeah, I would say B tier.
Fair enough. Let's talk about Melina next. Cowboy, what do you think about Melina?
She's kind of a tough one. I think there's a very strong chance she's at the bottom of S tier, if not the top of A. Um, yeah, and I've said this. She just has everything you need. Some mix, even though it's not the most damaging. She does have some good setups with Lao. Um, really hard to kind of move in neutral against her because her main footsie tool is a low. Really great control of the air, which I think is actually huge in this game. Because I mean we can get into this, but I think anti airs actually aren't isn't as great of a thing in this game. So the fact that she can do something that just kind of automatically covers it is very strong. Um, yeah, can't it's hard to approach her, especially if she has a lead. Can't really play footsies, and she does great damage. So, and she has consistent results. I mean, there's multiple people who've been able to succeed with her. So, I think there's just no doubt she's one of the best characters.
Yeah, I have her at like the top of A.
Yeah.
She has like quote unquote like the footsies are supposed to be her weakness, but the problem is like the ball roll is such it like how many times have we seen somebody like randomly ball roll into into fatal blow into like what 50%, right? And then they
Right.
would just so it can be really scary to move in footsies, and obviously we're not moving and you're blocking in this game, and if you're blocking then you're getting thrown or you're dealing with mix-ups, right? Or you're dealing with cameos. That's essentially why he's strong. Like that's the basis. And remember back in there, people, even Tom, like, man, why are projectiles not full screen? Can you imagine this character with full screen projectiles? Like, dude, oh my god, like she would be probably the best character in the game, right? Like, so there's still a lot of ignorance going around even to this day. But yeah, so even her current projectiles, they're still like they're not great, but they're like okay, they're like average, maybe below average. But they serve their purpose, right? Like they do them once in a while, they could catch you right off guard, especially the low ones. So, um, but yeah, I think the character is very good. Sometimes she's not fun to play because you know their role is coming, you just don't know when. And when it hits you, you just lost 50. So, GG's. Franco, what do you stand?
Yeah, I think One of her few weaknesses is like her 1-2 string being exploitable, but it's hard to, it's obviously on a read if you're going to try to exploit it. And just a very quick comment, like just to be fair to Tom, I'm sure he's like pointing out the size not having full screen reach just because like from a design perspective, like of like an NRS game, like I think he's like just more so talking about like not Melina needing it per se, but like the things that they limit in the current modern NRS games. But that's a different talking point and conversation. But uh, aerial ball roll is like one of the best specials in the game. You can't like up block it to punish it and or make it unsafe. You have to pretty much not move and just respect it. And I know some Molina players are using Tremor, which also mixes very well with the aerial ball roll. Like if you try to like take your turn back or something, you can get tremored for it. Um, I still think Chameleon's a really good cameo with her because she gives Melina insane mix-ups and damage with the back throw, the meter burn low side, or I think you could meterless low side even if you're up close, and then she can do like fan lift to do all these conversions, and she could also combo off her forward four with the fan lift. Um, I think her go-to cameo is still Kung Lao from what I've seen, like and watched on the game. But I would say low S tier, high A tier for her, and she has the best down one in the game. Like as far as reach goes,
Oh yeah.
she might have the overall best down one, even though it's -10. But yeah, her forward one's a really good mid that's confirmable and is safe. Um, she has plus frames off her back two string. Um, yeah, there's her fatal blow into. We've seen that win games, even though some people have downplayed it, including I've seen Hourglass downplay it before. I don't know how he feels about it now, but Hourglass has definitely said on Twitter before, like I think during the early days of its inception, that it was useless, like on Twitter. Even though I've seen him win with that before, so that fatal blow into is definitely far superior than Baraka's, obviously, and it can definitely win you a game. Outside of the 1-2 string being exploitable, I think she's one of the best characters in the game. Definitely top 10 material.
Fair enough. The next character is Noob Saibot, whom Cowboy used to use. So Cowboy, I will give you the floor.
Yeah, he's an okay character. I just feel that he has to work much harder than like other characters, even characters that aren't necessarily like Homelander. Like I think he has to work harder than someone like Liu Kang, for example. Uh, just and he has good shit. I mean, really good damage. Um, can go into set play and do take your life bar. His big weakness though is really just his footsies. I mean, he has the shadows, but that you can only use them every so often, or at least the regular versions. They also tend to be very negative. I mean, if he does like a shadow tackle and you're kind of close, you're getting punished. Or I should say, he's getting punished. Okay, anti-zoning, but yeah, just has to work a little bit harder, especially in someone like Havoc, right? Like, there's no comparison there even. So solid, has tools, interesting design, but not super top. I'd say
I also
probably
yeah,
eight, lower A, upper B.
I also don't like his armor in certain matchups.
Oh,
Not
it's
that I
bad. Yeah.
yeah, like if you play like against Homelander, like dude, oh my god, right?
Yep.
Because essentially it's like kind of like a quote unquote slide, right? It's a low attack. So if you're
Yeah.
fighting Sindel, Homelander, even Nitara, God bless you, right? Because you're not gonna hit. It's just like what is this move? So that I feel like that's a major weakness. And yeah, I think Cabo said it best. Like, has to is solid, kind of like Kung Lao has the tools to win. It's just like, do I really want to use this character and go to a tournament? You can, and you can place, but like it's hard. I think it's hard, and maybe even does Homelander just blow him up? Is that
Yeah,
really?
definitely. It's,
So
he can't
that's
armor.
yeah, that's the problem. If you lose badly to the best character in the game, and a lot of people are using that character. Like it's you're gonna struggle, man.
Oh
It's
yeah.
gonna be Franco. I haven't personally, just by the way, I haven't mid tier like whatever B. I don't think he's A. I think he's B, but he's
Yeah.
solid. He's probably the best of the bunch in B. So, Franco, what do you think?
Yeah, I think a lot of people kind of stopped using him, and I think for the reasons you guys said, like he's one of my favorite characters to use, and he has a very high skill ceiling, and I think he um, the like reason like I still love using him, but when I do use him, it's very easy to get woken up buttons on. Like I think he's very
Oh yeah.
susceptible to wake up buttons, and that's one of my least favorite things to deal with. So that's why I'll sometimes take a break from using him for that reason. And like I'll whenever I use him, I try using all his tools, like even embrace chaos, uh, and all the crazy setups you can do with that, and like the meter burn shadow clone. Like that stuff's really fun to do and stuff. But yeah, the skill ceiling's very high with him, and I think the he has like a Shang Tsung issue, like very high skill ceiling and just not rewarding enough, you know. And he has like his back three string is -7. I think the second hit's -7 and the third hit's -7. So when you're fighting a six frame character, that's really bad, like Liu Kang for example. So the fact that you can't use your low starter safely against some characters either is an issue that I have with him, along with the other things you guys said.
So, do you put him in B, like mid tier, or?
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, B. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, fair enough. Well, speaking of another character, like I have kind of like I wouldn't say a love hate relationship because I really don't use her, but like I'm so just kind of confused about, and I think it's my personal lack of skill in the matchup is Nitara. I'm curious, Cabo, where you place her, because sometimes she gives me issues, but I'm not really sure why.
Yeah. She is a little downplayed. I think she's an A tier character. She's another one where I think in a lot of matchups she gets to control exactly how they go. Right? Because you can punish her if she's wrong on something, but she can also just not do anything, or she can play super lame. Of course, she can also be hyper aggressive too, as you know, with the constant floating and jumping. Really, really good damage. Probably some of the best of the game, actually, other than like Conan, I guess. Uh, yeah, I mean, it's the type of situation where no one thing by itself is necessarily a mix-up, but when you add in all the movement and things you can cancel off of, it's just nobody's blocking everything. It just isn't gonna happen. So yeah, A tier character.
I think the fact that she has low health is a major issue because she cannot use certain kind of like another character we will touch upon later, and I think you guys know who I'm talking about. But like,
Well, wait, does Quan do like 600 damage like her? I'm sorry, I missed
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
yeah, I mean,
I would be
Spoilers.
okay with low health if that was the
spoiler
reward.
alert, it's not the case. But
Good
so
thing
she
his
kind of
name
is
starts with a Q, but he is coming soon. He is coming soon.
yeah, he's coming soon. I'm sure there will be some debates, but yeah, I think, and also like when you play her offline, a lot of that stuff is easier to deal with, right? You can just react better to her shenanigans. I think one of the younger players said it best, and I forget his name. I'm sorry, but he was like, if she could build meter while dashing in the air, I think that would be huge. But she cannot, right? She doesn't build meter with that, so she's
So
again,
she's like,
so she's kind of limited, to how much meter she can build from a distance. And again, she takes a lot of damage because she has low health. And like Cowboy kind of reference, she doesn't have the best mix-ups per se. So, but I still think she's very strong. And if she touches you, you just kind of die. And then she actually can turtle you and run away, which can be strong. So I have her lower A or top of B. Pick one. I'm not really sure. So Franco, I guess you be the arbiter. What do you stand?
Uh, Her meter build situation is pretty lacking. If she could build meter full screen somehow, yeah, she would be a lot better. She kind of has to rely on her cameo to do that, and like I know some people use Sonya, um, Farah, um, Sonya probably being the better one for meter build, but I know Darius is probably her most popular cameo with the hard to blocks and the wake up attack. So,
True.
um, I want to say top of B or low A. Yeah. I'm gonna place her there in. Ooh, she doesn't really get throw combos either. I think I would say top of B,
Yeah,
very
I would
top
agree.
of B. I'm just gonna run use the bathroom real quick. So I will be back ASAP.
Yeah, but I agree with Top will be. I guess we can continue with the next character, Cowboy Omni Man.
Interesting. Yeah, I'd say probably B tier. I think he gets blown up by the best characters as usual. But he's also he does have shit that's really strong. I mean, he hits like a truck. He can he can turtle, and we've said this before, but really all you got to do is the armored titties, and you're golden. Yeah,
That's
the
funny.
character that absolutely does not play footsies in any way. In that way, I think he plays MK1. Uh, but
Also
yeah,
has
just
good.
cheaper characters.
I'm sure you would agree. He has some good strings as well, even though they have gaps. But I don't think it's like his jab is like what plus
Oh yeah,
three.
and he gets plus. Yeah, try playing Kwon against that. It's lots of fun.
Yeah, exactly. So you kind of just have to block over and over again.
Yeah.
Pretty much to me, he has everything except kind of what the most important thing about the game, which is a really
Hmm.
cheap mix, which you can have depending
He
on the
does have
setup.
some mix. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, he can have it depending on maybe Kung Lao or even Tremor, right?
Tremor. Yeah.
And shout outs to Attack Potency, right? Like he's an amazing player who makes the character work and places well with him. I know he uses like Johnny Cage on the side, but he kind of like I think he's like the standard, right? For sure when it as far as Omni-Man is concerned. Have
And
you
there's
thought
other
of
good ones too, which I think
yeah.
further proves that he's good. Like that other guy, was it Ragnarok or something like that?
Yeah, 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 yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah,
he
yeah.
like either went even with or beat Connie in a set on Homelander using Omni Man.
Yeah, yeah. So I think the character has a place in the game because of his turtling ability, his great armor move, um, his plus on block normals and his staggers, and I think he's solid. But should he have a command throw like the people are requesting? No, he should not.
No, no, he shouldn't. No.
I would personally place him in, like top of B or something like that. Uh, just like a couple of uh dirty buffs away from like being like even S tier, but maybe we should
Right.
be happy that he never got those, right?
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, it's funny. Uh, let's kind of, I guess, move on, and I'll let you comment on Peacemaker as we're still waiting for Franco. Go ahead.
Yeah, bottom of B, top of C. I think again he is kind of downplayed. Like there's a few people honestly who like can do work with him. So I don't think he's totally useless like you say.
No, I don't think
But
he's useless either. I don't think I ever said useless. I just think that um, again, he has no offense. Like I know 1-2 is good, but just like he doesn't really get throw combos. He has no overheads. Um, he's just too honest, man. Like, and then you
I
fight
wouldn't
a
say he's
character like,
honest, but he's not as effective.
come on, man. You fight a character like Omni Man. Speaking of Omni Man, like, what do you do? Like,
I mean, have you
like,
gone against Homelander Jax, or they just put it out and then flop on you, and there's not a lot you can do?
I know, but
Pretty fucking dumb.
the counterplay is you just duck and then you usually recover faster
You're gonna get
when.
hit by something though.
Well, actually, you will not because when you duck on,
You can
essentially
duck the
when
Jax ground pound now.
no, you cannot. But the Jack's ground pound, if you crouch block, you're invincible from any attack after the initial hit. Did you know that?
Yeah, I mean I know, but again, that's free damage.
Okay, what is it? 5% into being at a disadvantage? Who gives a fuck?
You talking about
Like if that
Peacemaker?
actually,
Yeah,
yeah,
I s-
Peacemaker. We just finished talking about Omni Man. We had Omni Man like in B tier, so feel free to put him in that placement. But
oh
like the
yeah.
point
Did you
is,
guys talk about Omni Man and meter burn nipples?
yeah, yeah,
titties.
of course, titties,
Yeah.
of course. But we're on Peacemaker now, and my argument is that again, my stand is always the same. Like, what can you do offensively? If you cannot do anything offensively, to me, you're low tier. Like, simple as that.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, I'm not even disagreeing he's low tier, but you say he's basically useless.
well, I don't think he's useless. I don't think any character in this game is useless. It's just that, like, why would you work so hard for nothing? His down one sucks. His armor sucks. His offense sucks. His zoning is okay. His zoning should be a lot better, but it's not allowed to be when you know that. So like, what does the character do? Like, why would you use him? It's fucking. I think even Kung Lao is better than this. Like, at least Kung Lao has an overhead. Especially pre-patch Kung Lao has a fatal blow. Now he doesn't, obviously, but like, that's what I mean. Like, why would you use this character? Yes, people make him work, but I think that's because they're very strong players. And by the way,
He's
those
pretty
same
popular.
players and those same players, when they use like the top tiers, they tend to place a lot better.
No, I've seen people who plays with just Peacemaker.
No, there are a couple. I agree.
There's
Like
actually when I was before
Zape,
we started this
Zaquan.
podcast,
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
um, I was watching Demon Lobby. He's having his top eight finale for his 16 qualifiers, and Noir, Peacemaker player. I saw him playing against Unjust, and I don't know if he won the set or not because we had started the podcast, but he had a really amazing comeback against Unjust, like at like chip damage health. So and I've seen him like have other results, uh, being that it's online, but uh, unfortunately Peacemaker doesn't have like much offline results. But Noir has been putting in work with Peacemaker as I've from what I've seen recently. Um,
So can we use any player, any player's results to prove that the character is good? Is that the standard? Just want to make sure for
You
a
know
quick
that's a
argument.
standard, Dave. Don't play stupid.
Okay.
That
Okay. Fair
definitely
enough.
matters.
Okay. Fair enough. I have one perfect example for a character. I finished watching a set. Somebody just beat Kani Mani with the so-called most useless character in the game. I'm ready. Let me know when you guys are ready to talk about that. So I'm ready.
Who?
Okay,
Well,
let's
who
talk
beat
about it.
Connie? What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, you know who beat Kani Mani?
Who?
Rother, Quan Chi.
Okay,
Okay, so does
but
that not
is
matter now?
Rothar is that consistent? But okay, you're talking about one
Here's the set.
result, whereas this dude's plays consistently with Peacemaker.
Rother literally plays consistently, non-stop. Like every tournament that he enters, he plays as well. Now,
He
let me
only
tell you
plays in
this.
rips.
Yeah, he plays the game. He fights the best players in Europe. What the fuck are you talking about? Now, with that said, do I believe Quan Chi's like this S tier? No, I believe he's low tier. So
Yeah, I'm
like,
not saying Peacemaker is this S tier character either. I'm just saying maybe you can argue. I'm saying like maybe instead of C tier, maybe I would consider putting him low B tier. Maybe.
again, Cabo likes to change the standards depending on the characters that he thinks are broken, that are bad, whatever. I don't even know what the standard is anymore. But the point is, I'm being consistent. Like, do I believe Peacemaker is good and needs buffs? I think he's good, but does he need buffs? Hell yeah. Same thing with Quan Chi. But Cabo's like, no, I don't want any buffs. Nerf everything. That's Cabo's opinion.
Aggressive.
No, they would not be. They would still be weak. We know that because I'm killed them.
That doesn't. There's no correlation there, but okay.
Well, anyway,
Different game.
I will apologize to this extent about Quan Chi because I'm a fair man. I'm not sure that you are, but I think Quan Chi, when you look at it from the lens of, oh my God, armor, like the armor portal. Oh my God, the overhead buff. Oh my God, Darius. Then he looks like fucking mid tier, right? Or even high tier. But then you fight Smoke, then you fight Omni Man, and then you fight Homelander,
Reiko,
and then you fight Reiko,
Cyrax,
Cyrax,
Conan,
Cage. You name it's like,
into the whole
and you're like,
roster.
and then you're like, oh my God, what are these matchups? This is not fun, right? Like you just get blown up, and even when it seems like you're winning, you're kind of still losing. So I was definitely wrong in that extent because again, I keep it real, I keep it honest. But with that said, I still believe he's one of the best low tiers NRS has ever designed, at least in just like power levels, right? Uh, because the other loaders in the other games were trash. He's actually usable. And again, I prove it because Kanimani just lost to Rother, and guess which character he used? Reiko. So I think, and again, I still believe Quan Chi needs
Wait,
buffs.
Connie Mani was using Reiko?
Yeah,
Ah,
I linked you guys privately to the video. You can check that out. You can search for the set. It's about 2 hours in. Kanimani, which is Rother, and Rother beats him.
um,
Connie still has a winning record against him, by the way. Just saying.
No, I know he does, but I'm saying like, can you imagine? Can you imagine in MK9, the game that we're supposed to bow down to? Can you imagine like Kano beating? I don't know, me as Kano beating. I don't know, Rio's Cabal.
I mean, that's
I
different because the power level, like the low tiers in that game, were really low tier. Like, there's a difference.
that's
no,
what
they were
he's
not.
that's what his argument is
Right.
in that
No,
specific
the,
like he's saying Quan Chi
the,
isn't as low tier as like the low tiers in
I mean,
which
that's true.
yeah I
Yes.
agree with that
no,
but yeah it's
you
still
guys are not using the right semantic. They were not low tier. They were trash. Like the low tiers in MK9 are complete dog shit. They shouldn't even be in
Well,
the
yeah.
game. Right? Yeah.
yeah we agree with that yeah I not to say that Quan's not like in terms of MK1 he's I mean he's low tier but yeah like he can compete better with the MK1 roster as a low tier than the low tiers could in MK9.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I'm not blowing you guys up. I'm blowing up the people who praise MK9 as this, I don't know, infallible game everybody should bow down to. It's like, what the, you guys were playing the
Hey,
game against.
you already know that's a different conversation. I'll
Okay, fair
somewhat,
enough. Yeah, I'll shut up. I'll shut up. Fair enough. Anyway, comment on Quan Chi, guys, where you would rank him. I'm sorry for getting off track.
I'll let Cowboy go last on this one. I know how much he wants to speak on the Quan, and I could go all day about Quan too. Just to fill in my very minor absence a second ago when nature had called. Um, just very brief. Omni Man, like meter burn armor, mind games with the titties and stuff. Um, Anti zoning, pretty good forward three normal, stuff like that. Some throw combos with some characters. I put him in C tier. I don't know where you guys put him when I was gone. Um, did you guys have him in like C tier when I was gone?
Which character?
Omni Man.
No, we said B.
Oh B. Okay.
No.
And then Peacemaker. Did we say C or B? Because I was kind of gone for that.
Borderline.
Borderline. Okay. Um, yeah, Peacemaker. He kind of got. He doesn't really excel on like one particular thing. He's kind of like all around. But yeah, you guys kind of covered most of the bases from what I heard when I came back. But back to Quan. Even though he got the buffs he did, and like the Darius wake up helps him obviously. Uh, I still think he's like when you fight him online, it's a lot harder than fighting him offline. And as somebody who's competed against this character offline pretty frequently, uh, I'm not really like I still think he's a bottom two character. Like Tanya's like the only other character I can see being worse than him, and I still think you can maybe even debate Tanya being better than him. And I know it's very controversial in uh, most people's eyes in MK1. Um, like I've had the debate with MCF before. He thinks I'm crazy for my Quan takes, but that's just one person out of a lot of people that think a lot higher than I do of Quan.
Oh, well, his Quantics are stupid, so who cares?
I personally agree with that. But I love the dude though. There's no shade to him, obviously. But yeah, it's just like I disagree with pretty much almost the entire community on Quan. But I think that is just shows like our mindsets and how different they are from the modern MK scene. But yeah, really bad armor, the slowest pokes in the game, the slowest stand one in the game, 900 health, really bad like mid strings, gaps and everything. Like you, and he doesn't have good zoning, so at best he's going to mix you with his overhead and use like his throws here and there under Orange Portal, which I think Orange Portal is still overrated to this day. And I know I will get a lot of hate on that, and I'll die on that hill. Cowboy, the floor is yours.
I mean, yeah, I agree with pretty much everything you said. I I just think it's absolutely batshit to say this character is like S tier. Like, even if you think that his strengths are strong enough to justify, there's no other character in the game that struggles as much in matchups as him. And I don't even care. Like, you can fight me about that because there's no character that just where I'm sure Garrus has some bad matchups. I'm sure like Astra and shit has some bad matchups, but there's never just situations where you literally can't do shit, which is what happens with Quan Chi. Like if you get cornered without the armor, or you get knocked down, you just have no room for error. It's honestly just kind of unfair compared to how the other characters play. They can make a ton of mistakes and come back, but you're not doing that with Quan Chi. A 7% overhead, no way out of pressure, worst armored move in the game. His wake up, that is. So even if you want to say his strengths are good enough, like with the armor portal and the overhead, he has to deal with matchups that no other character does.
Yeah,
And
his matchup
it doesn't
spread's the
help either that
worst.
some of his worst matchups are just brain dead to play. Like anybody can pick up Johnny Cage and play against Quan Chi. Character's very simple. Same with and this might be controversial with some, but same with like Homelander. That character, gets to run his game, albeit a little bit different than against other characters, but he still is in control. So yeah, I just don't see it. I don't see Quan having he has the horrible matchups, but he doesn't have what character does he dominate? It'd be one thing if okay, well he has some terrible matchups, but then he shits on other characters. He doesn't do that to anyone. He just has the bad matchups and then does okay against certain characters.
Yeah,
It just isn't worth at all the penalty they put on him.
yeah, he's not like Lex Luthor to where like in Injustice One, Lex Luthor had matchups that you would actually consider using him in, like against Martian or against
Right.
like who's
Some
the
said
other?
Aquaman.
Yeah, Aquaman.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, thank you. But he had his bad matchups, obviously. So he was like in
Right.
the mid tier. He was literally like a polarizing character. But Quan,
Right.
he doesn't have the upside of the polarity. He only has the downside.
I think the
Yeah,
problem
the
is
armor portal keeps him in the match. That basically at its best.
I think the problem is people view the character in terms of tools instead of matchups, and that was my mistake, right? It's like yeah, you think Armor Portal is the shit, but then you're like, wait a minute, this doesn't do anything in smoke. Like he's just teleporting, he's just like throwing grenades, he's just like jumping around, right? Like oh Omni Man, right? It's so hard. These matchups are very very difficult, and I don't think he needs a redesign, but I do think the time has come to give him actual pokes because in this game because defense is already so bad, you just cannot play the game without pokes. Like he needs a regular poke. It doesn't have to be, like a Molina type style poke, but I think it's time, to buff certain stuff that should have been buffed a long time ago. Um, and I think another problem is like even when he hits even when he hits some of these moves, like he doesn't get anything. Like you hit the
Bone
armored
cage.
stop.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
thank you. Yeah, yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. Let's start with that. Like, you hit bone cage. It's like, wait a minute. Like, why can Gira still snap me?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, Movado back assist on two.
yeah. So that's a problem. Hitting like all these moves should like have like at least 5 to 10 more frames of like a frame advantage. Like, same thing with the tele stuff, right? Like, you hit that, like you literally have to. You hit that against Cage, you still lose. Like he still does what he does, right? Just because uh Quan Chi's normals are so bad. Like these moves, they don't do anything. Like they're just bad. Like
The
they're
green
just terrible.
portal.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Horrible.
Like
In a
I
bar for
had.
them to go straight through
I'll
it.
tell you
Yeah.
guys when I stopped using Quan Chi was when Cage play literally like ran through it. Like it did like
Yeah.
fatal ball. Like what? I thought like so there are moves they just don't work. That they're like to quote our friend Tom Brady, they don't function properly. Like they're like a disaster. They don't
Oh yeah,
do
that's another
anything.
thing. I'm quite sorry, mini rant, because this
Yeah.
really, really pisses me off. Um, Quan has this thing where it's been in like a bunch of NRS games where the portal is considered like an active object on the screen. But if the opponent has fatal blow, they can just fucking use it. It doesn't matter if it hits or not, and it gets rid of your armor portal.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
like Johnny will, for example, right? He'll be far away or not close to me at all. I'll spend bar on EX portal, and guess what happens? Fatal blow, cancel, portal's gone. Now I'm fucked because I don't have meter, and he got rid of the portal for free,
Well,
basically.
speaking of bad design, it goes back to old. Remember
Yeah.
how it's this is not that common, but like even Freddy with the spike, with certain characters, if they held back full screen, it would whiff. Well,
Yeah.
guess what?
Yeah.
With Quan
Mm-hmm.
Chi,
Yep.
if you do the the bone cage, I
Hmm.
believe Homelander, because of the way I don't know he's standing or whatever his standing hitbox, it just whiffs. It's just like, dude, I knew what you were gonna do, and I still lose. Like, why?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Why
that's
There's
do
a few
you?
characters. There's a few characters like that
it's a
actually.
lot of
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
DLC
from
characters. It's Homelander, T1000, Conan, um, Omni Man. I know it doesn't happen that way,
Ermac
but
is another one actually.
yeah.
yeah, a lot of
He avoids
characters
it.
can just like their standing block animation, um, just ignores it. And like I wish the bone cage trip guarded you too, because when I knock you down full screen with forward four or 4-2-1, and I try to oak you with far bone cage, they'll stand up and block, and it either won't trap them or they can just hold up and jump out of it, and it won't even activate the bone cage. Like that's happened to me in many sets against Dave
Oh yeah.
when he plays against Havoc. Like for some reason the bone cage just doesn't okie them.
Yep.
Yeah,
Even
again,
bonus points if you spend a bar on it.
yeah, the character again, if you evaluate him just based on his tools, he looks really, really broken. But when you play the matchups and actually like, you fight Cage, you fight Homelander, you fight Reiko, it's just like, oh my God, this is really, really hard. That's when
And
you
yeah.
realize.
Mhm.
Go ahead. You
People
you
and
go.
people are just gonna say, like, I know fucking Michael Cera fan. Oh, whoa, he has some bad matchups, but bro, no other character has matchups that are this bad. Not in the entire fucking game.
True.
It's not just oh well, he has a couple bad like they're like unplayable. You just can't do anything in them. So yeah, he's terrible. Better than he was. I don't think he's C tier anymore. I'd say like mid or lower B.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie.
But
I'm putting him in bottom one, Cowboy. I think
all
I'm not gonna lie,
right,
man. I think you're up playing right now, and that's a
I can
sentence I
work with
never
that.
thought I would ever say.
Yeah.
No, I think Cowboys 100% right about the matchup. I think he has like 5 or 6 matches. Just like, why am I playing this game? Like, I can literally name you them. Homeland is literally toxic. Reiko, I don't want to play. Smoke is just like, I don't even know what that is. Like, honest, I'm gonna say it, Cowboy. I'm gonna say it. I had rather fight in MK9. Freddy was just smoked and fucking smoke, which is Quan Chi in this game. Like,
Yeah.
it's just not
Legit.
fun. It's not just fun, dude. They just do whatever they want, and I don't want to deal with that. That's why I quit the
It's
Cage.
unbearable.
Cage. I don't know if I have mentioned him already. Like,
Hmm.
incredibly toxic. Like, it's just not. They literally just dashed, dude. They literally this guy dashed through the green portal and X-rayed me. Like, what? What?
Yeah. It's like it's
Dude,
Like,
not there.
what is the
even
character? Like,
Takeda is like low key annoying. Like I know every matchup
yeah,
is like pretty much bad,
yeah.
but like Takeda's like another matchup I always felt like was damn near like just super hard to outplay in.
Well, I
Yeah,
don't
he
want
has too
to.
much mobility.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. I
his
don't want to.
yeah, his
Yeah,
whiplashes and stuff.
yeah. I don't want to get into this. I think I would be okay with them slightly nerfing the armor portal, but like, give us a low poke, give us better stomp, not like faster. Like, just give us more frame advantage on hit. Give us a better bone cage on hit, and give us a better bone cage on block. Like, you know, nerf the stuff that people find annoying slightly, but give us an actual character who does stuff. And then I would be, I think, and even if he's mid tier or high mid tier at that point, I would be happy.
Yeah, it just sucks that we only have potential. We only have like one more patch to, and I
Yeah,
just don't have hope that they're gonna change him.
yeah, me neither. But
Um,
let's kind of yeah,
We can move
let's
on.
kind of
Yeah.
yeah,
yeah,
let's
yeah. I
move
will
on.
say
Yeah,
one other thing too, that just the icing on the cake for this character is literally he's like counterable by cameos, which is sad. Not many characters get countered just flat out by cameos. Like Movado shits on Quan and sub cameo shits on
Oh yeah.
Quan. So that's just another that's just a cherry on top to
well,
D
I'm not.
tier this character.
That's probably the least surprising part. That's probably by design. So, just in case like, if you cannot get around zoning in this fucking game, like, here's your Lil Johnny, here's your Sub Zero cameo. You get to avoid all the projectiles of the game. Yeah, you're so great. You're such a
Yeah, you're
champion.
so
Like,
good. Yeah.
Yeah, where's our fucking anti rushdown, anti, you know, guess what's not in the fucking game. But anyway, let's move on. Talk about Raiden. Uh, power crept. Power crept. Too nerfed. Still okay because I think he has decent normals. Has I believe I want to give the two play. I think it's is it Wits? Is
Yep.
that his
Yeah.
name?
Hmm.
Wits and there's another player.
Various is a
Various.
Various.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Various.
that's him.
They deserve a lot of they deserve a lot of credit. Yeah, they're the only ones actually still trying to make this character work, and they both use Sector, who by the way has gotten nerfed because people like Cowboy. Uh,
Oh yeah.
so so
Jeez.
yeah, so you have a already low tier character who got screwed. His best cameo got screwed, but they still do very well because I think fundamentally the character's still like okay, right? It's just that like he's too honest. He's just it, it's hard, but he's okay. I think he's either like at the end of B or like high C. Franco.
I do think Raiden's a little like some people say he's like bottom five. I do think he's good and he has mix, but like he's just kind of fair. You know, he's not. He doesn't have the best damage, unfortunately. His armored move's not the greatest. I think Storm Cell is like, yeah, sure, it got nerfed, but it's like kind of a polarizing move, and I think the way it is now is fair. Like you should have to use an ambush to make it safer plus, because the way it was before was obviously just not it. Um, and like the poke meta he had before was also brain dead, but um, his whole gimmick with the discharge move I wish was better. Um, the absorbing the like the three electric orbs to gain access to that. It's just too much of a build up for such a little reward. And there's some like moves in his kit that aren't like too useful, but I would say he's like high C tier, low B tier. Um, you just have to put in a lot of effort into him, unfortunately, and um, he's got maybe like I use Tremor with him, but I still see Kano and Sector. Um, but he kind of has a cameo syndrome to some degree. I feel like because not every cameo can like cover his storm cell options. You know, he kind of relies on an ambush. I feel like.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, I don't have much to
Pablo,
add,
where do you
honestly.
stand?
I think he's just too fair. Works way harder than other characters. Doesn't I mean he does have some combos I guess with Sector, but for the most part he's pretty low damage. Like if that's not available. So yeah, I just don't think he has much going for him. Way too hard. Probably not worth using if you're going like a major.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's C tier. Cowboy, what do you stand on Rain?
Rain is really strong. He's an A tier character. Got basically everything. Throw combos, right, which is the next best thing other than straight up 50-50. Um, Absolutely brain dead space control tool with the back three, which that also can set up staggers, which he can cancel. Some of them are plus, like if he's doing the jab. Good jump attack, armored launcher. He's very strong, and he's had multiple people be successful with him too.
I have Rain in B tier because I think this is one of the easiest zonable character in the game, which is ironic because he's supposed to be a zoning character, but I will not get into that meme again. Um, so if I use, I don't know, Kung Lao, even Kung Lao sector, like he has to approach me. I don't have to play footsies because I'm just gonna run away. I'm gonna if he activates the again now it's harder because again sector favorable sucks, but especially back in the day it was super easy to outzone him. Um, Now you maybe have to engage in the. He's essentially another. I know it's weird. He's another Conan. His projectiles are way too slow. He's not gonna outzone you with a 35 frame projectile. It's just never gonna happen. So if you can contest him and make it come to you, you're gonna beat this character very easily. If you have to come in on him, he's gonna blow you up. So, but the fortunate thing is, all the top tiers are kind of odds on him anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. I think if again, if he forces you to play footsies, you lose. When you do not have to play footsies, um, he loses. Franco, what do you stand?
I think Rain is B tier, mate. Mm, yeah, I would say probably a high B tier. Um, his movement, like, it's not like horrible. Like, it's he kind of, if he has to get in on someone like you said, it's definitely like a struggle for him because he doesn't have like Johnny Cage movement, obviously, but his like dashes are kind of stubby, kind of like Liu Kang's. Um, but yeah, his cancels, if you have to play footsies with him, it's really scary. He can easily whiff punish you. He shits out damage. He has plus frames like a lot. Like 114 portal summon I think is plus. 114 cancel is like plus 3 I think. Even doing like down one cancels is like kind of real. Like because I think if you try to counter poke with some characters, your poke will whiff, and then he could just whiff punish you. Um, his jump 3 is really good. Throw combos and the car throw off forward 3. And his best cameo is usually Janet, so 14% throw or a full combo. And when he hits you with the water beam, he just gets auto Oki against most armor moves. Like because of the funnel move, it's just gonna break your armor with the attacks he enforces on you with the Anoki. So I would say high B tier.
Yeah, he's good. Don't get me wrong. I think he's really, really good. It's just a shame that we were lied to this day. And I wouldn't mind. This is never going to happen, obviously, because it's a modern NRS game. But like, I wouldn't mind nerfs to the back, whatever back one, back three, whatever the fuck that thing is, to compensate, give us better zoning. But again, I don't think it's going to happen. So, um, but he's good. He's good. He's one of those characters who probably doesn't lose any matchups too bad, but he also doesn't win any matchups too he doesn't win any matches too dominantly, right? So that's why people can place with him. I feel like. Uh, but let's move on. Talk about Reptile. Franco, your take.
um, I know some players think he's like bottom five. I think he's also like I'm in the same boat as Raiden in my like as far as like which low tiers are a little too downplayed. I think he's one of the more downplayed lower tier characters. I think he's like low B tier. Even though he has like gaps like with the back three string, it's still a really good normal. Um, sure, his force balls don't go full screen, but they're not as bad as people say. Um, the meter burn dash is pretty decent. His armor move is bad. Um, kind of has like maybe cameo syndrome to some degree, but one of the best sweeps in the game with Movado, especially. Um, pretty good staggers, decent frame data, unreactable overhead. Sure, it doesn't launch like when you do the full speed one, but um, throw combos with some cameos. Excuse me. But yeah, I think he's like low B tier. Oh yeah, stand three is
Good.
really good too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
Yeah. I mean, Reptile is just okay. Yeah. Same problems like Raiden. Others a little too honest, but still has some tools. It can be kind of annoying to go against. But yeah, he probably definitely not one of the better characters.
I feel like a lot of the buffs that he got, like, were kind of things that he should have had from the very beginning, right? Like, I think at one
Mm.
point his overhead was unsafe. Just like, wait, what? Why? It was. It's not even. It's not like even like a launching over. It's one of those overheads, like that plunges to the ground. You know. Um, but I think it was like -12 or something. It's like, why? Like, why is this like this? And then like one of his strings randomly, you know, if you flawless blocked it, I forget the string, like it was minus. It's like other characters have the same thing. Like, why is So they gave him that stuff, but I feel like his weakness is just he's he's always been, and I hate to beat the dead horse here. Like he's always been a character who's been based around his fireballs, and we all know how fireballs are in this fucking game. They're not allowed to be good. So, I mean, I'm sorry to say, it's true. Like this
Yeah.
character, like this is the weakest version, I believe, ever of the force ball, right? So,
No. I mean, not to be Mr.
okay, okay, yeah,
Technical,
yeah,
but
yeah, yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah,
horrible
yeah.
in MK2.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. You're right, you're right.
NRS
But like,
history maybe.
no, yeah, yeah. We'll leave that discussion for another time. But like, that's a good point. But like, when he's allowed to be what he's actually allowed to be, like in MK9, he's not even in top tier in that game. But like, when the force ball is allowed
He was
to
good
be
in that
good,
game,
and
though. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, no, yeah, for sure, for sure. When he's allowed to like play that guile style with his force balls, whether it's MK9 or even much much better than Ultimate, then he's like he really really shines, and he's just not allowed to play that way. He's just not allowed. He's the kind of play that footsies game, with the normals. But at that point, like, why are you even using this character? There are like five, six, seven, you know, maybe even eight better options, right? So that's why I feel like he belongs in the C tier. Um, but let's move on and talk about Scorpion. Um, Cowboy. Let me ask you one last time. Maybe
Mhm.
maybe now you will agree. Is this an honest character?
No, but he's closer than like Homelander. D- Definitely not as cheap as like yeah, like the top three, but he's up there for sure. A
Would you
character
put
you
him in
really
S
can't play
tier?
new, huh?
Would you put him in S tier?
It's close. I would say maybe just outside of it. He could
Yeah.
be though for sure. Oh yeah, really, you can't challenge his neutral. His neutral leads to mix, which is extremely annoying. Um, really, at any time, he can just choose when to fake you out with teleports versus going in or jumping, and there's just not a whole lot you can do other than hope you guess right. So yeah, I think he's still very strong. Consistent results throughout the life of the game. He's an A plus character.
I
Great
would
armor
put him
move
in S.
too.
I would put him in S tier. Yeah, exactly. Like his
Yeah.
armor movement us forward. I think the thing is he can like stagger you, but the problem is like if you think, oh, there's this, mid high, I'm gonna duck, then he does the mid into Pharaoh. Like it's just like, oh my god, now it's just like, and and I think the biggest difference is all his combos are so long after Pharaoh that they essentially just recharge Pharaoh, and then he can do
Yeah.
it again, right? So, and then what is it, back three, whatever the hell the move is, like that has immense cancel, and
Yeah.
yeah, so yeah, it's
That's what.
like
Yeah.
it's essentially you're just guessing, like it's nonstop guessing. Can get a back throw as well, back throw combo. So plays the meta literally to the T. Um, just like the one weakness maybe I can think of, like cannot maybe build meter, right? Because he doesn't have a traditional projectile, and you just can't throw spears at any time. But other than that, like Pin Turtle has good armor. Um, really annoying mix-ups. Yeah, I mean, has everything aside from maybe the fact that he cannot really build meter as fast as certain other characters. Franco?
Excuse me. I still think Scorpion's S tier. Yeah, he's like you guys said, back three, really far range. Pretty much jails into. I'm pretty sure it's armorless if you let it rip ASAP into the overhead. I know for sure it jails off the low. Farah. Um, Throw combos. Really, if you have to play neutral with Scorpion, it's super annoying, and you really can't afford to like play footsies with him because he's just recharging Farah. So if you have to chase him down, it's really egregious. Sometimes like a really uphill battle. Um, really good jump kick. Uh, Pretty good sweep. Down three has really good reach. Stand two is a really good disjointed normal. It's not like not like Shao level stand to, but it's really good. Yeah, his combos hit really hard, and he also gets like a guaranteed Hellfire meter burn at the end of his combos. If it's gonna kill, it's like an extra, I don't know, unscaled 6% if he wants to cash out on damage. So, and like even if you're not using Farah, you can still use like Tremor, maybe even Janet, and find some
Striker.
success. Yeah, Striker,
Hector is actually pretty good with him too. I've seen a
Jax,
couple
if you
good
want to
ones.
be like a Cheese Lord McGee.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the character's S tier. To me, he's S tier. Just too
Same,
many
yeah.
mix-ups. Yeah, too many mix-ups, and the footies are just like incredibly scrubby. If you unless you have good armor like back three into para, it's just like it's almost like this is how you should have played at MK9, but that's another story. Um, well, uh, Franco, back to back. What do you stand on Sector? Because
Man,
you have played Sunya before and you have beaten him, and there's some sense. Obviously, you lost, so I trust your opinion. Go ahead.
man, I think Sector is middle of B somewhere, maybe in
Ooh,
like
that's a lot lower than a lot of people would place her.
yeah, it's just like I think the nerfs she got were just way more significant than people thought in the beginning. Like not gaining as like what was the exact nerf? She doesn't gain meter on if you block the or no if it whiffs if
Correct.
yeah if she whiffs her aerial projectile then it just doesn't build her bar. Like that's a huge deal, and she already had lower damage from like scale. Like if you land her armored move into Motaro teleport, the damage scales. It already did low damage, but they lowered it even more. They lowered the projectile damage, so like she doesn't have throw combos either. So like they nerfed her best form of offense with the armor, and yeah, she's just doesn't really have plus frames. She does have a really good down one, but yeah, she kind of got nerfed pretty hard, and I think she's just kind of mid.
I would agree.
Yeah, I think she's probably at the end of the day like a B tier character. Still like decent. And she can get some wins, and I think honestly, yeah, especially in certain matchups, she's really good. But yeah, just not doesn't really do what's meta in the game. Also, I think at a high level is incredibly hard to use because there's a whole lot of neutral you have to try and enforce. She has tools to do it, but yeah, I think she's just okay.
And I think like too like there's this very annoying like thing like back three and the meter burn teleport just doesn't work sometimes. Like I know Dave will mention that or like the lock on, not the lock on, but the meterless projectiles she shoots in the air. Like the tracking on it's horrible. Um, I don't know what the move's actually called, but down back one or whatever. You know what move I'm talking
Yeah.
about, Dave?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, like those two things are kind of just like if only they were a little bit better. Like, cause her back 3-3 is a decent auto shimmy, but if sometimes the back 3-3 doesn't land in a meter and teleport, which really sucks.
Yeah, I agree. Honestly, again, I think I'm being fair. I think she does well against some of the top tier characters like T1000. She probably does well against Sindel. She probably does well against Reiko. Um, she probably does well against Ermac. She probably does better than most characters against Cyrax. So she has usefulness, but there are certain matchups. It's just like, why am I even using this character? Like, you fight, for example, Homelander, again, the best character in the game. Why am I using Sector against them? Like, it's to the point where Text, the the Brazilian player, right? He's Brazilian, right? So um, he doesn't even he uses completely another he uses another different character, right? Same thing with Sunio, right? He he tends to use a lot of Liu Kang against those type of characters. So perfect example of NRS peeing their pants after seeing certain results and just over nerfing the character for absolutely no reason when we know what the meta is. We've known what the meta is in this game for a while now. Those nerfs should be immediately in the next patch. That's the first thing that um, should be retracted, whatever should be reverted. Um, and I still wouldn't even use her because I think she's always been massively overrated. And I told this to Cowboy a long time ago, and I was right. Um, no reason to use her, especially when Havoc is around. Havoc, by the way, has the same whiff recovery frames on his projectile, no execution, builds meter on whiff, by the way, and has better armor. Why are you
Breaking
using?
news: Havoc has better tools than another character.
Fair enough. I was just like, yeah, it's the character is yeah, she works, and I think people will use her because she does well against certain top tier characters. But like I would never show up at a tournament and actually just use her. I think you would be a complete fool to do that. You would be the fool of the century if you just showed up with her. You have to use other characters to cover your bad matchups. At which point, like, why are you even using her? I think again, I'm always an honest man. I think she's like very, very low A or top B. I think that's a fair placement for
Yeah, maybe I
her.
was being a little mean with the mid B. Yeah, I think high B is fair.
Yeah. I don't think she's mid B because she does well against some of the top tiers.
Yeah.
So I would put her higher. Again, I'm being fair. Cowboy Shang Tsung.
Oh boy.
Yeah. D minus. No. Yeah, he's the one of the worst characters in the game. I think he's bottom three. In fact, I don't think it's even close. He just doesn't. I don't understand because they kind of just plopped him in the game. They gave him some of the fireballs that he's had. The young old thing is kind of interesting, but I don't know. It just seems like they didn't take into account like what this game is because he just doesn't do anything that's good in it. It's like I don't get why you put the character in just to basically set him up to fail. Because zoning is garbage. I mean, you can't win with that. And that's really like he's built around as if his zoning is just like oh my god, you can't do anything. So for that, he has pretty shitty normals overall. But yeah, really stubby range. Has to commit to projectiles and dies when they get jumped or blocked. And that's not even mentioning right the various cameos that negate zoning on certain character moves. And the more, I mean, people always say like, "Oh yeah, you can just turn into him," but he's actually, I think, like really hurt by the cameo system because it's like, yeah, you can morph into Homelander, but unless you happen to be running Shang Farah, like you're not
True.
going to get good value out of it.
Yeah, great
Uh,
point.
Same thing with like Havoc. I mean, Shang doesn't have particular synergy with like Stryker, right? So yeah, you turn into Havoc, but then you don't have like his best cameo. It doesn't work. I mean, the design just straight. Sorry to say this is just a failed design. It doesn't work in this game. Way too much effort for like very little return. Yeah, I think he's useless. He needs massive buffs to ever have a hope.
One thing that I do think is good about him is
Yeah,
his offer, though. I do
it
think his
is.
offer,
It is
yeah,
good.
yeah, in the young form, right, when it's 13
Right.
frames and it launches.
hmm
So in that game, to me,
That's
his
still only like
offer.
20%, by the way.
I
But
know,
yeah.
but like, well, welcome to any armor, right? That nowadays, but like, it it's still strong because offense is so oppressive, and anything on
Right.
knockdown, that kind of represents you actually have to not press buttons. Like, I think for that reason, I would place him like top low tier, and some people, certain people have had results with him, right? Like not consistent because they use, secondaries or tertiary characters, but like
Right.
I do think having the armor and also his damage, right, is for especially for zoner, like it's higher than fucking peacemakers. It's
Pretty
higher
decent.
than
Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty decent. So uh, I have a little bit of respect for him in that sense. So he is, I think, for me personally, like either like super low mid tier or like high low tier. Franco.
Yeah, Shang's. I don't know if I'd say he's bottom three, but I've always been like a little bit more optimistic on Shang. Um, I know in the past episode we did on our tier list, I mentioned like the annoying stuff, like why is his young skull in the air like really useless, and like
Yeah.
the input errors I get all the time with the morph move, the down forward four specifically. Um, but yeah, it's just like it all comes down to just way too much effort for not enough reward, and like Cowboy brings up a good point with the character you morph into to get your damage boost from isn't always worth it because you don't have the cameo that synergizes with the character you morph into. It's a very valid point that honestly flew over my head in previous Shang Tsung conversations we've had. Um, he does have like a good armored move in the young form. I do think that the best cameo ideally would be like Goro because of the unblockable resets and stuff, like the Wraith combos and stuff. I think that's probably your best chance of finding success with the character, but again, that's a very high degree of effort and um, it's very difficult. So I would say he's probably maybe mid C tier.
Fair enough. Well, before we move on to Shao Kahn, well, we all agree that Shang Tsung is low tier in this game. We will all agree that Kerry Horyuku Tagawa is an exceptional Shang Tsung actor, and we say our RIP to
Yeah.
that man.
Oh
So
yeah, that was such awful news. He
yeah,
was
Yeah,
great.
so
it's
He was
really.
really great in 11 as well. Like
Yeah, I
yeah, he was.
immediately thought of MK11 in the movie, like
right.
when like I really wish he would have voice acted Shang in this game too, but I know it's a whole new timeline and all that stuff. But yeah, he literally carried the MK movie and phenomenal in MK11 as well.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
really
Absolutely.
impressive.
Maybe, yeah, and I'm sure when we do another podcast, we'll pay more tribute to this amazing actor and film producer. Uh, but let's move on and finish this up. Talk about Shao Kahn. I don't have much to say. Another like kind of like Vortex character, but with a twist, I guess. Kind of like Enshi. He has to access another stance to do his best mix-ups. Very strong. Um, Standing two is one of the best normal attacks in the game. It's really difficult to get around unless you have like a mashy low poke. Um, Pretty much has everything for the most part, except you know there is this weakness of his inability to build meter from a distance because his projectiles are very slow. But yeah, I would put him like low A. I would agree.
Yeah, yeah, I think that. Well, I don't know about low A, but definitely, he's definitely a step below like Homelander. Those
Yeah.
type of characters. He has to work a little bit harder to get his mix set up. Although, I mean, there are cameos, right? Um, it relies a lot on highs, but you can set them up to get hit with the jump in, which is ridiculous range. High damage. Still don't understand why he got that buff where he can do plus cancels, but he has that too. Yeah, I think he's a very strong character. Just kind of outclassed by the best of the best.
Yeah, well said, Franco.
Man, I got the scratchy throat. Excuse my coughing fits. Yeah, I think outside having like struggles against like pack mashing pokes, like it kind of has pretty much everything, and like the lack of meter build from full screen is another thing. Um, he feels like a boss character sometimes, like 1200 health with some teams. Um, I know Tremor is like 1150 now, but I've seen some people use Darius with him. and yeah, like even though he has might not always have 1200 health, he still has really good synergy with like Movado um, and Sector, even with like the lock on missile for his mix ups. So his offense is like super good, but I would put him mid A probably.
Yeah,
And he has a really
fair
good
enough.
jump in as well. Jump two is really good.
Oh yeah. That move is really, really annoying. Yeah, he's really good. He's got really good jumping attacks. Um, let's move on. Talk about Sindel. So, I'm a little bit confused by Sindel because based on the tools, you would think there would be more Sindel players, but there really isn't. So I'm not really sure why. Cowboy, how do you explain this phenomenon?
I mean, she's just not the best of the best. Honestly, I think it's as simple as that. I still think she could be S tier, honestly, but
Yeah,
there are other characters that require a little bit less effort and are more effective. So why wouldn't you use them? Yeah, I think she has everything. Great jump in, annoying jump arc mind games that most characters don't have. Forward one is still a great tool. I don't care what they say. Ridiculous down three. Stupid ass mix off of a mid, right? Which you start with Tremor. Yeah, really good armored move. She's got it all.
King Jr.
Yeah, I would say, jeez. Um, I think low S tier. She like Cowboy said, she kind of has pretty much everything. The only thing she doesn't have, and obviously she has lower health now and a nerfed forward one, but she can still literally touch you and kill you off that one touch. She doesn't have throw combos, but that's like one of the few weaknesses that she has. Um, her air mind, her like uh, aerial mind games are super annoying. Like jump kick, like hits on both sides and is super easy to convert off of with forward one. Um, Usually you see like Kung Lao or Tremor with her for the hard to blocks, but yeah, I think she's still low S tier. I think it's just she's a little bit more effort. Like you can't just play as risky with her because of her lower health that she has now. So she can be a 950 health or a 1000 depending on the cameo you use. So yeah, I'll say low S tier. Her armored move isn't the best either.
Yeah, I agree. I still think he's S tier.
Oh,
But
and
like,
she has the reversal meter burn down back one that can punish pokes and is more situational, but she still has it. She can punish pokes.
and she has the excellent um ability to like cut your cooldown in half, right? Which is just that's almost like hard to believe that she has that, but she does have it. So you can do like like throw I don't know, toss a spectral missile, and then immediately like snap your fingers, and then like it comes back faster. So yeah, I think she's S tier, but like I think Cabo mentioned accurately, she just requires a lot more effort, and that's why a lot of people don't use her. But I do still think she's S tier.
Yeah,
So
there's like easier top tier characters to use over her, and like she also has the anti breaker move too, which is pretty cool. Um, Definitely a good thing to have that no other character has.
yeah. Um, let's talk about Smoke. Cabo, your opinions.
Well, I think I told you all. I have kind of a hot take. I think he's an S tier character. I don't know how this putting him in like mid or mid low is just crazy to me. Kind of like Kenji. This especially after like the striker changes. I mean, you really just can't move against this character. He puts striker out, he gets in for free, and then you're just mixing off of like 10 different things he can cancel into like gigantic combos that recharge the cameo and do like 50%. Yeah, I think he's extremely dumb. He doesn't play neutral in any way and basically gets spoon fed mix ups because of cameos. I hate this character.
Um, man, oh man, man, I hate to go back to the toxic end today from the early 2000s, whatever, or the early 2010s. But like, this is one of the few times I think the smoke players don't know what the fuck they're doing. Like, they don't know how to play their own character. Like, look, this is all you have to guys do. Don't play this character as a cancel character. Like, all you have to do is do this. Like, pick striker or sector, and just play on the double missile or the machine gun. And when you have that ready, teleport, play like an idiot, do whatever you want, and when that's done, just run away, do it again. Like, play him like an Omni Man. That's all you have to do, and then everything else is just like is a cherry on the top of the cake, right? Like, that's the way I will play him. So they try to like play him as almost like a, I don't know, like an MKX Scorpion cancel type of character, right? Like, you don't have to do that. Like, it's completely unnecessary.
Yeah, I
His
think he can play definitely pretty lame, but I do think that his
Yeah.
offense is good too.
No, it is. It is. I'm not disagreeing with you, but I feel like they go too offensive, and because the character is actually pretty weak defensively if you can crush his armor, right? Like, he can't really wake up at all, right? Because that's one thing he actually struggles with. So with this character, you don't want to get knocked down and deal with like Cyrax, because Cyrax is gonna blow him up very easily, right? So you have to be really careful. So that's what I'm saying. You have to, play properly depending on the matchup. If you overextend against the Cage, against the Homelander, against the Cyrax, against the Havoc, you're gonna lose pretty badly. So you have to pick your spots, right? That's all I'm saying. But I don't think he's S tier, but I have him in my A tier, probably like towards the mid or the low. Mostly because I do think his defense is bad, depending on the matchup, because his armor is crushed very easily. Uh, King Junior, what do you stand?
This might be more like, I guess, our most spread out, or I
Yeah,
guess far away in agreement on this character is I would put him in like high B tier.
Jesus, man.
Uh, yeah, I mean, like, I agree he's not supposed to be played like this MK9 cancel, like MK9 Cabal cancel character. I feel like you should really only use the cancels for like hit confirms, or if you're invisible to like
That's
try and do.
ridiculous, dude. It's a mix-up.
No, no, no. But
What
I'm
are you
saying,
talking
no,
about?
I mean, there's more to the character. There's more to the character than just that. But I mean, um, obviously, like, I think the gunshots with Striker into like the meter burn invisibility, like, to set up your offense like that way, and he can be like turtley and stuff. Obviously, you can't zone him, but he still does have some gaps, and his defense isn't the best. But and his down three is really good. Like, he has a follow up after it, like down 3-4. But he does also do really good damage too, and 4-3 cancel is really good. But I don't know. Yeah, I'm either thinking high B or low A, I guess, for him. He doesn't get throw combos really either with most cameos outside of, like, I think striker gunshots and I think sector double missiles.
yeah.
I guess those are his best cameos though.
Okay, that's fraudulent argument.
Yeah, I get those are his best cameos actually. But
Also, he's also very good with Tremor. So all the like the top cameos, he has really good synergy with. Again, to me personally, Kyle, am I being fair when I say like I agree with whatever you're saying, but I do think you're kind of underestimating his um deficiencies on the
No,
defense.
you. If he has Striker, that armor thing literally doesn't matter. You'll hit his armor, and then Striker will still machine gun you, and you trade
Well,
for like a 50% combo.
wait,
yeah, I
it
guess
depends
you
on.
could use, yeah, like striker as coverage in that scenario. Yeah, that
No,
is kind
because
of
Yeah.
Kung Lao's 2-1 is so fast, you can do it, crush it, and still block. So
Okay,
it's
that's
not.
Kung Lao though. Not everyone has that.
No, I understand that, but like against Cyrex, it doesn't matter. Sindel's gonna crush it. You see what I'm saying? Like, there are characters who just don't care about it.
Right.
But no, I agree with you. I think the character's massively downplayed, and you have, you know, Just Nasty does very well. Tragic. He's a. They're both American players. They do incredibly well, and again, I do believe the character's massively downplayed. And to me, he's mid high tier, aka A tier, or like even in whatever you want to place him, even lower. I think he's lower as in obviously lower in the A tier. I think he's very very strong, and
Yeah,
he has benefited from striker obviously,
we
and
can't
he
forget
has not.
about
Go ahead.
we can't forget about Big Daddy G either. I don't know if he still plays, but
Yeah, yeah,
he's
yeah. I don't
found
think he
success
does.
with the character.
Yeah. Um, but let's talk about Sub Zero next, just real quick. Sub Zero, fake offense. That's his biggest weakness. He has to Sub Zero in this game kind of has to randomly slide, randomly dive kick, randomly overhead you to beat you.
which works really well.
Yeah, it does work very well, right? Because there's no way a full screen slide into 30% or whatever, 35 is ever going to be bad, right? Like it's always going to be good. But with that said, I just offline, man, I just don't see it. I think he has a lot of bad matchups. When he can force you to come in, I think he does very well. But when he cannot, and when he has to rely on slide, keep in mind if he slides with Havoc or Homelander or I don't know, Ghost Phase or like he said you're risking his life. Like you're risking the round, you can lose right there. That's the problem. Um, I still have him in C tier. Uh, Pablo, do you agree?
I don't agree. You know my takes on this. I think he's an A tier character.
That's a
Probably the bottom, but
that's
he's
a hot
not.
take. Though.
Yeah, I mean, I've said this. What does he not have? He has every tool. Yeah, the mix, I guess, isn't as good as like some other characters, but he can still condition. He controls the screen really against a lot of characters. Between like the chameleon cameo and his slide and his air mobility and his dive kick and the shoulder, like he has a ton of control. I think you guys are just playing bad Sub Zeros. That's all I can say.
No, I used to play against what was his face? He used to play consistent. He used to. I'm sorry. He used to play consistently offline. Don't stop the train.
Yeah,
Yeah, and by the way, I used to lose against him, but like he used to get away with the overheads and stuff like that. So I think the character's good, but the playstings offline don't really match the A tier status from my observation and experience.
I mean
Uh,
they just don't travel. Like the ones that play online do pretty well.
I mean, Sikander has traveled though, like in the
I
past, so
feel
it's not
like
like
it is kind of like a Katana situation though. Like if Retro traveled, I think we might have. I mean to a lesser extent, obviously, because Sub Zero is lower than Katana, but um, I do think Sub Zero does like not have enough representatives that travel offline. To be fair, like what's his name, Measy, I think, that plays Sub Zero or something.
Yeah,
Just Measy.
it's pretty good.
Who's the Sub Zero player that played Sonic Fox before
Rona,
Sonic? Yeah, Rona. Yeah, he's also.
he's the best one, I think, but I don't know
But
if he
I
still
don't know if he's
plays
ever traveled.
or that. No,
But yeah, I think it's another like what if scenario. Unfortunately, as far as offline results go,
well, where do you place him, King Junior?
he, C tier, like mid C, maybe even
I think
lower to
that's
be honest.
crazy. There's no chance that character is on the same level as like Shang Tsung. That's fucking ridiculous.
Dude, his offense is like, can you please be consistent with your
I'm being
dude?
consistent.
His
How
overhead is
can you, with a
reactionable.
straight face, say Sub Zero is the same power level as Shang fucking Tsung? Get the fuck out of
Even if you
here.
even if you place him higher, like, dude, be consistent with your. What is the game about? Didn't you agree it was about offense? What is Sub
Yeah,
Zero's
and
offense? Besides,
he has good offense. He has good offense. You're just
no, he
wrong about
doesn't.
that. Yes, he
How does he have
does.
good offense? No, he doesn't.
Slider, he's slider dive kick, both of which launch.
Dive kick is really good.
Wait, how is that?
Really good.
You're not mixing up slide with dive kick. What the
Yes,
fuck
you
are you?
are. You pelter them with fucking down ones, which is one of the best in the game. You do the string. and then you back up, and the second they try and poke, dive kick, or you can
That's
even
not.
get the mid
It's not
sometimes.
in the same realm anywhere near, even as the high mid tier. Like, what are you talking about?
That's extremely good. Oh,
No,
and
it's not
actually,
extreme.
I'm sorry, I forgot this too. He does have just a straight up 50-50 with Chameleon. Like that's just 100% true.
Yeah, no, that is true. But also, he can get that blocked. He's 50%, and then he's essentially done for the round. That's the problem with the
Okay,
character.
that's most characters. That's still good offense.
No, it's not most characters because
Yeah, it is.
what, dude.
One option is usually punishable. Yes, I understand Homelander is not that way, but again, he's the best in the game.
No, not even Homelander. You said that Franco and I more like we were up playing like Ghostface. Like characters like that don't depend on unsafe shit. They just do shit, and it's all safe, and it leads you to even more offense at times. Like, and no, it's not Havoc, and no, it's not Homelander, no, it's not Cyrax. So you're missing the point. Like characters like that, I had rather fight any day of the week a Sub-Zero offline than like a Ghostface. Ghostface is like, what do you do? Like, it's 50-50 at all. You can't block anything on reaction. And everything is 50-50 at all time. And by the way, he also has a command throw in case you try to fuzzy guard you. You know, in case you try to fuzzy guard him. That's the difference.
Well, I mean, in that example, his neutral is a lot better than Ghostface's neutral.
Well, again, you're changing criteria. Didn't you say the neutral is not that important? So make up your mind. Which one is it? Do you have a standard or not? And if so, what is it? Can you tell us after fucking almost 3 hours about ranting? You don't have a standard. You literally change it nonstop. Depending on the characters you fucking think are broken, depending on matchups you dislike. I don't see a consistency at all. There's a massive lack of consistency. I
Yeah,
keep
the
my
problem is though that you're thinking everything has to be the same, and that's stupid.
no, but I like there's stuff that dominates the game. There's stuff that isn't. Like I told you, I'm a Havoc player. And when Franco was downplaying his offense, I was the first one to say, like, dude, no, you're wrong. That's not the way. His offense fucking works. And I explained it consistently. When he tried to bullshit about other stuff, I also pointed it out. Like, with Kitana, oh my God, Kitana! Who gives a fuck? The character sucks. Like, she's not good. Move on. Like, she has no offense. I'm consistent. The game is about offense. You know how to say it's the economy
But
stupid?
again, Sub Zero
This
has
game,
offense, so I don't know why we're talking about
no, he
this. Like
doesn't.
he straight up
Not
just has offense.
not to the extent that the other characters do.
It's still good. It's more offense than fucking Quan Chi has, who you think is
What?
this secret good character.
Wait, I ranked him in C tier. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, I literally,
You've
my
always,
problem.
until recently, you always called me a down player about him.
Yeah, and I admitted I was wrong. When I'm wrong, I admit it. When I'm right, I flex. So like, yeah,
I
I
mean, I'll
was
just
wrong.
say this: I would rather fight a good Sub Zero or a good Ghostface than a good Sub Zero. 100%.
Well, I highly beg to differ. But let's move on. Talk about finish this up because we don't have too many characters left. The next character is By the way, am I going crazy? Which I might be. I admit I have had a couple of drinks. Did we discuss Reiko?
No, we did
No.
not.
Okay, just want to make sure. Let's discuss Reiko real quick. Here's my discussion. He's S tier.
Yeah, top three. Top three.
Oh yeah, top three maybe.
Cowboy, I think you're more passionate about Reiko than I am. Go ahead.
His character again, he's similar to like Homelander in that he's just kind of baby mode, where like by existing he's a mix up basically from anywhere on the screen. Because at any point he can do the run into the just the hit, or he can do the grab, can cover his ass with Tremor, right? Which is, by the way, so creative. The only fucking cameo that any Rico uses. Um, and when he's not doing that, he's spamming stars. Which, yes, you can beat them if you're fast enough with the projectile, but they're really fucking fast. Uh, yeah, really good down pokes. Extremely underrated buttons for sure. Like people try to say he's stubby, but he has really good footsie range. Which, by the way, those are guesses. Like if you even block one of them, you have to guess if he's gonna stagger or go into a 50% command grab combo. Another one, by the way, where his combos can be kind of long, which lets like at least half the tremor charge back while he's comboing you. Yeah, I just think really a good armored move too. Like not broken, but good.
Yeah.
He just has everything. I Huge damage, lots of mix off of every touch. He's a very dumb character.
I think one of the things that I find annoying is especially with in a game with like slow projectiles, is that how they randomly slide into fatal blow. Like,
Yeah.
it's so stupid. What does it do? Like 45%? It's just like, dude, I'm just trying to like
Yep.
throw, and then they like throw that, and then they're like, okay, slide's coming, and guess what? It's not. Guess what's coming? It's a
The
contestant.
grab. Oh yeah, his fatal blow is a mix a 50-50 too, by the way. Also great.
Yeah, I do think it depends on the character. There's certain characters who like gears they can mash back one. Uh,
Okay.
There is
yeah,
some weird throw immune. Like
yeah,
I
yeah,
know
yeah.
Aziz made like a video on it. Um, but yeah, there are scenarios where you do straight up just have to guess. I think, um, depending on the scenario, probably.
Yeah. But Kingdra, do you agree that Reiko's S tier?
Yeah, I think he's still the people's champ. I think like he's probably one of the more favored characters to watch. He's definitely fun to watch. Maybe not fun to play against, but he's definitely fun to watch. Just seeing him slam people on the ground is just like the sound it makes when he lands it. It just it's just big ass damage, and like yeah, he's just got pretty much everything. Um, it's pretty straightforward why he's an S tier character, honestly.
Yeah, the only weakness is I guess in certain matchups he kind of has to like, you know, get in, like, maybe against Sector, probably Havoc, um, even some of the mid tiers like Kitana, stuff like that, characters like that. But like yeah, it's essentially at any. I think the problem is at that mid range you cannot react to slide,
Nope. Yeah.
cannot react to run, stop, run, throw. You cannot. Then you mix that up with down four. You mix that up with EX stars, with regular stars, with the jump. Random shit into tremor. That's really really oppressive, and everything leads to so much damage. So, yeah, he's really really strong, but he does feel like almost like a more quote unquote balanced Homelander. But yeah, he's really really good. And I hope he doesn't get nerfed because he actually is fun to watch, and I do enjoy watching him. Do I enjoy playing against him? Not so much, but there's a lot
Nerf
of
his ass.
nerf for that.
Yeah.
um, Next character, Cowboy. You already know who it is. It's up to you.
T1K.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Super fun. Yeah, I've enjoyed playing the character. I've told you all that. Um, I definitely think the nerfs really hurt him. Much more than
Yeah.
most people will admit. Um, like he he has the tools to win, but everything he does just carries enormous risk, right? And the problem is that well, he's low health, and also, I mean, especially like off of his grab setups, he's not doing a lot of damage. So he's like risking his health while at the same time not getting like a great reward that he used to because his damage has been nerfed a couple of times now. Spike is a good tool, but unsafe as hell, extremely negative. Yeah, a good character, but I think he has to work a lot harder than like the best characters in this game. Definitely has some bad matchups, uh, but still, he definitely has a kind of a punching chance because he can have different ways to mix you. When the game's on the line.
Just real quick, does he beat characters like Homelander or Havoc or
No, I think he gets shit on by Homelander. Actually, I think it's really bad.
what about Havoc and Sindel?
No, it's horrible. Both are horrible.
Styrax?
More manageable. He can play that match.
Just because the footsies, right?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
What
King
about
Junior.
Scorpion? How do you think he does against Scorpion?
He does okay against Scorpion. It could be an even match, I would say.
I'm guessing you probably think Reiko wins.
100%. Yeah. Because again, you have to hit that motherfucker like twice as much as he hits you. Because the health difference and his mix-up does a lot more damage.
It seems to me like you're the saltiest about Reiko and who else?
Oh, it's saltiest. I can tell you that. Reiko, Homelander. Um,
Conan,
No.
I'm not. I
Smoke.
mean, I don't like Conan, but I wouldn't say I'm salty. Well, I guess Quan Chi, if that counts, my own character.
No, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about in terms of your bad matchups. Do you think you're salty
Oh.
about Rake? Like,
Oh. In terms of bad matchups, Homelander and Rico are the top two for sure. I think you can be any fucking idiot and win with those characters. To be honest.
you can literally be like the homeless guy off the street.
Yeah.
Beat them
Like
up.
I shit you not, I've beaten like good ones in tournament, and then I just lose to complete randoms because anybody can do that. It's stupid.
Is it just me or um is with the Reiko? I feel like to me as a Kung Lao and Havoc player, I feel
Hmm.
like the random EX slide is into just like that's like to me is like oh my god, like I'm so scared, and that they use that to like blow me up. Is that an
Right.
issue for you? Is that an issue for
You mean
you or
getting hit
no?
by the slide?
Yeah, like just random
Yeah,
EX slides to
absolutely,
like
it's an issue because you have to guess at any point of the screen. Basically,
yeah.
you can't play
So I'm
neutral against them.
scared. Yeah, I'm so scared of the EX slide that I like because that what is the EX slide into um the fatal blow? What is it? It probably does like what is it like close to 45? It's not even 50
Oh,
yet.
at least, yeah,
So like that scares me, and then they use that to get in and just like do
yeah.
tremor.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
to be
It's like
fair too,
even,
like he could
yeah,
cover his slide with trimmer too, like even if you
right,
block
which
it.
is
yeah, that's
ridiculous.
another thing. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
it's very very scary. Yeah,
is he
I,
like you can
yeah.
hit him out of his shit sometimes, but your reward's not going to be as good as his, so he's just going to keep doing it.
No, absolutely. Well, so with that said, where would you put T1? I still have T1000 like maybe at the very very
Mm.
bottom of A tier. Would you
That's what I
agree
would
with that?
say. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
bottom.
I think you're being fair.
Hmm.
And Franco and you, would you agree with that?
Bottom of A tier, I maybe it's a hot take
Yeah.
on my end. I would put him high A tier, like where we had like Johnny and Melina.
Nah, those characters are clearly
No,
better than him.
man, those guys are better than him, man.
100%.
I don't know. I
They're
think
safer.
like
He takes too much risk on everything.
I mean you
That's
still
the main
see
issue.
like success from the character from like Unjust and Kale, like and
I mean, here and there, they well. First of all, I haven't seen Kale use them in a while, although I guess I haven't watched like super recent. But as far as I know, Kale is mostly on Homelander now.
Yeah, that's true.
Unjust uses him here and there for sure, but he also uses other characters. I don't know. He's
low. I don't
not
know. Low A tier seems low to me, but he definitely did receive a lot of nerfs though.
very heavy
But
nerfs.
he, I just feel like whenever you block his 4-3 string, sure, like the damage is not what it used to be, and the cooldowns on like Movado, if that's the cameo you choose, isn't there as much because they nerfed Movado's cooldown. But like he still has a 7 frame reversal special with the ground spike. That's really
Super
good.
overrated. Super overrated. You
Ooh,
can't. And that's what I mean. This is exactly like you haven't labbed this. I have. That thing, it only works as a combo punisher if they're point blank, usually in the corner. Any other time, it will not work through punish pokes. And you just spent a bar then to not have breaker and need a gigantic combo because it didn't work. Like you can't tell a lot of the time if it will work or not. Even its only real use is in certain situations, like against like Melina, the forward four. It will work on that consistently if you block it. A
yeah,
couple
because it
other things
always
like
like it always puts you in point blank range or something.
right, right. There's a few moves like that, but that move is not. I mean, that move is not very good for that purpose. It's not why you use it.
I see. I'm not
He's
a
I,
a
T1000 main, so yeah, I guess that
right.
wouldn't be something I'd run into.
I think I was being reasonable here. I would put him in like low A tier. Like his mix is good enough to win, but it's not like again. It's if you guess wrong, the problem is the top tiers will fucking cut off your nuts, right? Like they will just destroy you. And I think that's the problem.
Yeah.
Um, I do think he's being reasonable. But let's move on. We have two kids left. Let's finish it up. This is probably already like 3 hours in. Takeda, my humble opinion, very good. Problem is, I think his armor is literally the worst in the game. It's worse than Quan Chi's. Um, he literally can never wake up, cannot play the armor or not neutral game. And I think that hurts him a lot. But essentially, kind of has everything else. Decent projectile, very strong neutral from a certain range. Um, But yeah, it is not cheap enough. Doesn't have the defense that he needs to succeed against a top tier. Kaba, would you agree or am I off here?
I think he's a little better than you're saying, but I would say probably A tier. Like, he definitely has some setbacks, right? His wake up is one of the worst in the game for sure. Uh, but I will say, I mean, good luck. You don't really. I know it's not a footsie game, but if your character has to try and lean into that, you're not out footseeing him like ever. Uh, and he it could be annoying with the zoning. I think he's strong. And the Brazilians, in fact, had him like S tier, which I don't agree with that, but I'd say around A.
Where an A would you
I,
say? Do you have any idea, like high, mid, low?
Middle, middle. Yeah,
Franco,
good damage too. Yeah.
where do you stand on the Kita?
I'd probably say mid A tier too. I thought he was a character that could have maybe been fleshed out a bit more too as time progressed, and I think we might have seen that a little bit. Like, um, he has some cameo variety too. Like I've seen Jax, uh, Janet, even
Hector.
Cyrax, yeah, Sector too. Um, Maybe the most you'll see is, I want to say you see Janet the most, but I could be wrong. From my experience, I feel like I've seen Janet just a little bit more than Jax. Um, yeah, I would say mid A tier. He kind of has almost everything except the good armored move. Um, his aerials are really good, like the lasher jump in move he has. Um, his back three is really excuse me, whoa, burp. His back three is really good. He has a really good sweep, reaches really far. His I was about to say his super is pretty good, but I know it doesn't have armor. Um, yeah, he's just all around really good. Um, just bad armored move. Um, yeah, I got nothing else on him.
Well, in that case, let's wrap it up with the last character, Tanya. Um, Nerfed because of people like Cowboy.
I hope
There's
there's
not a
more
lot.
nerfs coming just for you.
Well, needed a redesign. They botched her, obviously. I think she's the worst character in the game. Um, you never see her almost ever. She's meant to be like a defensive footsies character, but obviously she's not allowed to be that because of what she was before, which again was not justified. But yeah, to go back to my original talking points, very bad offense. There's some stuff with Motaro, but I don't think it's anywhere near good enough. The times that you guys have fought this character in any, for the last year, you could probably count on your hands in Combat League.
I see her fairly often, to be fair.
I don't. I rarely see her.
That's because
I
you're at
think,
low rank, scrub.
well, I beg, I beg to differ. I have fought like more recently after she got those buffs, like like some of the buffs were reverted, which I'm sure Cabo wouldn't even revert because he's so afraid of her. But like, anyway, weak needs massive buffs. Uh, needs better armor than what she has now, but not to the previous extent. Bottom one or two, Cowboy.
Yeah, she's in C tier. I mean, I think there's no doubt. Um, yeah, she's a real example of where she just doesn't have a lot of dirt. I do think, I mean, and don't get me wrong, her footsie range, especially with that damn buff, it's pretty insane. Just the issue is she doesn't lead into much, and she has to work harder to open you up. So not a, I don't think she's like unusable like you imply, but I
No,
definitely
no, I
think
don't
she's
think
one of
so
the
at
weaker
all.
characters. Okay,
I think
okay.
any character in this game is usable, and I have lost to some of them. But like, you can just
Mm.
tell that they have to like outplay you, right? That they're not, like they're not beating you because I don't know she's doing 50/50s or hard to
Right,
block.
right.
running command throws. That's all I'm saying.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I agree.
Franco, what do you place Tanya?
She's in D tier with Quan in my opinion. I think I'm gonna put her in bottom two. I'm back to saying Quan's bottom one honestly. Um,
I love it.
and just like throughout the video or the discussion, I've been like nitpicking the tier list. Like I'm really trying to like order it. Like
Yeah,
just because our list
that's rough.
kind of
That's
hasn't
rough.
changed too much from our last list. I don't think we really ordered it so much last time, but
We did.
as we were discussing, I was like really trying to nitpick as we were going through it, just to like really finalize the list and up until whenever this patch drops. Um, but yeah, she's just honestly, if she just had better damage, I think she would be a lot
Yeah,
higher. But she just hits like a wet noodle. Like it's like she doesn't have good throw damage with the cameos that give her throw combos. Um, her armor mind games obviously are not what they used to be. Not saying they should be, but her seeking guidance move still is very underwhelming. Like the build up as opposed to the reward just doesn't match very well. Um, I think her damage, like being as low as it is probably like one of her biggest weaknesses. Honestly, like
uh,
she doesn't
yeah,
need too many buffs. I think she could see better days even with just like some decent like damage buffs and some some seeking guidance buffs.
yeah. Anytime a character goes from like whatever top 10 to like the worst, that means there's something wrong. The developers messed something up, and I think she's the perfect example of that. At least Kung Lao, we can agree to disagree about his previous placement with the armor, but there's no doubt she just got like she was essentially like kicked out of the meta, right? So she needs help, and I'm not sure what the exact solution is and what they will do. Lord knows what, but she needs buffs. She needs adjustments, and I hope they happen because I think by design she's a character whom Cabo and I would like to use based on, like she's a footsies, kind of like defensive. She's supposed to have good armor, but is not allowed to have it. So I hope she gets the help that she needs. Um, let's wrap this up with Cowboy. Your expectations for the patch?
I really don't know. I could see anything from a gigantic like MKXL style patch to like kind of what we've seen, which is maybe a cameo buff or two, a tap on the wrist for the top tier. I actually do think it's going to be one of those extremes, though. I think it's going to be very little or like a huge patch. Personally, I would think right it would be huge since it's been so long, but who knows? I really hope there's like some fundamental changes to the game rather than just some slight tweaks.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
That's what I hope for.
I don't remember the exact date the patch was released, but um, as of July 23rd, when Ed Boon first hinted at the patch not being final, that was on July 23rd. He said
Yeah,
that, and
shit, five
then
months ago.
yep, um,
Wow, I didn't realize it'd been that long.
and then he hinted at the balance patch incoming soon tweet uh, December 11th. So Uh, yeah, like I said, I don't know the official release date of the most recent patch, but yeah, it's been about 5 6 months since the last patch, I think.
Yeah, it
And
will
what do you
be.
guys think? Is it going to be big or no?
I think you hit the nail on the head. I think it's very difficult to predict. Just judging based on history, I don't think it's going to be that drastic because even though there will be no, even though the game will be no, there will be no Evo appearance for the game. next year, right? The game is essentially done. I do think they will kind of still err on the side of caution and take it easy because it's especially if it's the last batch. You know how it is, right? Like we saw like what Tekken 8 did with its batch, right? Like it's too risky to have like fucking I don't know 1,000 changes and then the game is like what the fuck is going on, right? Like I mean I personally like it, but like if I were in charge and this was the last patch, I wouldn't take risks to that drastic extent. Um, do you guys agree with my philosophy or am I off?
I mean, I see what you're saying. I still think they should do something big, though.
Yeah, I get what you're saying too. I would rather see something drastic as well. And I know me and you, Dave, think like the game is very balanced. I still am in agreement of that. Like the roster being as balanced as it is. I know it's very controversial to some people, and some people will say this game's not balanced at all. I disagree with that, but um, I do think like because we've gotten mostly pretty tame patches, I feel like they've when they had the spare time and the wiggle room to have these patches, they should have done a lot more with them. But now that the game's on life support and is on its last patch, like they kind of waited too long to have any drastic patches. So um, I think it kind of hurts them that they didn't do more drastic patches back then. So that being said, it could be the last patch. I see why it'd be scary to have a drastic patch for the very last patch, but being that we got small patches before, I feel like we should get a big patch because like we should like see big changes in the game.
Problem is when you patch the game, you have to have a direction, and I think most modern players don't want this game to be more defensive. They don't want this game to be more zoning friendly. They don't want this game to, to slow down.
Well, here's the thing. There are defensive characters in the game, right? Not many, but like I mean, Garrus. I mean, we've agreed, right? Is legitimately very good. Sector is pretty good. My issue is just even the defensive characters that are in the game, they just don't feel good. Like the gameplay of Garrus, just walking back, doing overhead, teleporting, is just so ugly. Like I don't know how you fix that. And I know I'm singling out Garrus here, but there are a couple other characters like that too. I don't know. To me, it's like they need to make it more interesting to use and watch. I think. Same with, and
There were,
obviously, same goes for offense because it's not interesting to watch Rico do 50% from anywhere on the screen.
I don't know. I kind of like watching Reiko. I think the
You-
problem is
you're
Yeah,
high.
Reiko. Well, watching Reiko is like watching like a bull in a china shop. Like that's kind of entertaining. It's like watching Jackass.
I think the
I
problem
guess.
is people like Cowboy don't have a standard, right? Like they're all over the place.
No,
They
I want
like
balance.
defense unless
I want
defense is
balance.
done to them. Then they hate defense.
That's not
The,
true. I
I
want it to be balanced.
like. I want to see cameo buffs too. Like not even just roster buffs. Like I want to see cameo buffs because there's still some bummy ass cameos that like kind of suck. Like I know you might not agree with that, Dave, because I know we discussed this before, but like some cameos still just flat out just are kind of buns. And like I think a lot
Well,
of cameos that got nerfed, like a lot of the nerfs should be reverted. Like if they're letting Stryker be the way he is, like I feel like a lot of the nerfs to cameos should be reverted. Like I want to see pre-patch cameo Cyrax with auto cooldowns fixed, like back to the way they were, and so on, whatever. Not to go too long on that, but
no, absolutely. I don't want to open another can of worms, but I do want to wrap it up on this topic, and because I want to get you guys' opinions. It's because Tom called me, and I know probably Cobb was rolling his eyes, but like um, we were talking about, legacy and how the next MK game should play like, and I relate that conversation to this topic, to this topic of the patch, in the sense that legacy of whom, by whom, which generation, which characters, right? Like, because if you ask the younger generation, hey, what do you think about Freddy and MK9? They were like, "Oh my God, this is broken! Get this out of the game. We don't want to play against this, right?" Like, but yet they're okay with like Ghostface, right? Like, so it's all like subjective, and um, they make these games no longer for 35 and 40-year-olds, which it's like that's the generation that Cowboy and I are finding ourselves in. Obviously, King Jr. is a lot younger, but like that's why it's hard to. It's all subjective. I feel like
I mean, would you
like
say I'm in your guys' camp of what power levels or gameplay archetypes? Like, I would say I'm pretty in line with, I guess, your ideals more than maybe more than Cowboys. Maybe I don't know. I know Cowboy
oh, you
likes.
definitely. Yeah, he likes nerves. Like I will never agree with that. But like
I like
no,
balance. It's crazy, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, you're more on the balance side. I would say I'm more on Dave's side as far as like I guess FGC ideals, but
no, don't let him fool you with that stupid talking point.
no, no,
Like
no. I'm not
game
trying
is
to I'm not trying to
game
make
is
it sound
already
like
balanced. It's not about whether the game is balanced. It's like what should be stronger. And obviously, I agree that defense should be stronger. But like when you give Cowboy good defense, like in the sense of armor, he does nonstop but complain. Like,
Because
no,
that's not
I don't want to deal with
interesting.
this.
It's not
Okay,
even not dealing with it. It's just not interesting. You shouldn't have
okay.
to have armor to have good defense.
Well,
It's
but that's
lazy.
what the games have been
But
for the
oh, here we go
okay,
again.
okay, okay, okay. Yeah,
The
now
things don't have to
now
just.
you're yeah now you're opening a can of worms, and I'm not saying like I'm not saying that's how games should be all the time. Like there should be armor in games. Like it's fun to use. I'll admit I fucking use Bane in Injustice One. I know I'm crusty for that, but uh, like zoning shouldn't be bad because that's how games are made. Like I'm not in that mindset of why that's why things should be not to like because that's just the mindset of catering to modern FGC players, and I don't agree with
no, it's not.
the modern
It's the way
FGC.
it,
Like
No, it is. David just
no, it's
too narrow-minded to admit it.
I'm not. I'm going based of evidence. Who was the best zoning character in MK9? I'm sorry, MK1 ever?
Best zoning, Peacemaker originally.
Yeah. Did that design work?
No, it
it
was
only worked
terrible.
because of Chameleon's fan lift, ignoring hit
No, it
advantage and
has
stuff.
nothing to do with fan lift. There were several things that essentially that character he was balanced in the sense that top tier characters could fight him, right? Like Cage at that point could fight him, whatever whoever was top tier, right? Like I'm sure Cyrax could fight him, right? If she, like she gets in, she kills him, right? But like it was not a balanced design in the overall sense of the game, right? It just didn't work.
Hey, Cowboy, back me up on this. Like
What's up?
pre-patch Peacemaker, like this was before the Chameleon nerfs. Would
Right.
you agree on my side in my defense saying like that was more of a Chameleon issue because she was literally ignoring your hit advantage for like he could do torpedo into fan lift. Like did that not make his runaway game so strong back then? Because
Definitely, definitely. Yeah.
and
Stop
Dave
it.
Uh,
does
What
not
about
agree with that.
no?
that's
It's
stupid.
not. No, that's not true.
He told
I
like
I
in the
agree.
previous conversations we had, he would say Chameleon wasn't the
I never
issue.
said anything about.
You
I never
did.
said can.
You did.
No, I did.
You
Well,
definitely did.
you need to see a doctor and examine your dementia. I never ever justified pre-patch chameleon.
No, I'm not
By the
saying you
way,
justified it. I'm just saying you said she wasn't the issue when
who
Peacemaker was at his
cares?
best.
People were doing well with Kano as well. What are you
No,
talking
but
about?
the
This is all of
problem, the Peacemaker Kano was
the
way less
problem.
of
You
an
know what the problem
issue
is? The
than.
problem was that he had a cycle curse that was fucking 12 frames. It was a mid attack. That was the fucking problem. They fixed that. They nerfed it like 4 or 5 times, maybe even more. They nerfed other stuff about him. His damage, like I think there was one patch that like nerfed all of his damage, but like essentially like by 10%, right? Um, Zoning in this game doesn't work because of the way the game is designed. And when you make it strong, then you saw what happens. So what does work? That's
Well,
the
well,
question.
like I said, I think if you literally had only nerfed Chameleon, Peacemaker would be way more balanced. Like, sure, maybe add the recovery frame still to his torpedo, but I still think Chameleon was like 99% of the issue of why Peacemaker was so strong back then, and
Definitely.
anti Force Field was pretty busted. Not gonna lie. Uh,
Well, yeah. So again, now you're recollecting the real issues.
but no,
Force Field,
Chameleon, I still think was 99% of the issue.
She
Like
was part of it.
she was, but not Cowboy. 99%. That's fake. It's
99 might be extreme, but she
that's
was a big part of it.
extreme.
And
she was a
I still think
majority of
she's
it.
really good, by the way.
What's that?
I still think Chameleon's a very good cameo, by the way.
No, I agree, but the point is, it's not 99%. That's just a dumb take. Like
I
that's
still think a majority of
not even a majority.
the
Like because people like Ninja Killer were still doing well even after Kamega. The problem was whatever you call it, the anti-projectile attack, right? As well as I don't know
torpedo is
the
probably second most
yeah,
egregious, but fan lift I still think was easily number one because you couldn't punish
but
anything he did because of that.
but the
You would actually get punished sometimes for trying to punish him because of fan lift.
I don't even give a damn about Chameleon. The point is the mid hitting torpedo. That's what countered, like you stupid ass little Johnny picking up your Sub Zero cameo and essentially ignoring I don't know most of his special moves. Well, in the case of Sector, like 90% of her special moves, like that move made you hold still. Did you notice when Cowboy talked about the Sector cameo, what he was complaining about? It's not the anti-zoning. He complained about the zoning. He was like, "Oh my God, I have to hold still." Yes, bitch, you complain about zoning. So people like, look, Pick Up the Hot is my friend. People like Cowboy, Pick Up the Hot, all these people, they love zoning you. They just hate dealing with zoning, and they want to
Hold
flip
on.
you.
I used Sector cameo at the time. I used the character, and
And
I
you
still
bitch
said it should be nerfed.
nonstop about it. You're the biggest hypocrite of all time.
But I used it. It's not like you okay because you just framed it as, oh, I don't want to deal with it. Well, I was using it, and I still said it was
Yeah.
stupid.
And so what? It should have been in the game.
No, it
So
should. It was not interesting.
I'm one of the few people. Name me one example in which I ever bitched about zoning. In any case, ever. Like I'm actually consistent. When something is good about zoning, you know what happens? I pick it up and I use it. Like
What makes
even
zoning interesting is like it's good, but then there's ways around it. There was just no way around Sector.
the one thing I said in Injustice 2 was like, Matt, it keep playing to win. I was like, dude, have fun with this. I'm not complaining, but this will get nerfed eventually. I'm just telling you, I know it will because I know it's very, very strong. Like, and I will fight you, and it's okay, right? I'm not salty. And what happened? He got nerfed. So, um, and that's exactly what happened.
Were you referring to like
But
Deadshot or Starfire? I'm guessing Deadshot.
what's that?
You were referring to Injustice 2 Deadshot, I'm assuming?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I kind of figured.
Even when it's like OP. Which,
I
by the
don't
way,
get. I don't get what your point is. Who cares?
well, have some consistency. You never have any consistency. All you do is bitch. Like, I'm tired of this fucking talking point. Like, but it's not just
What
you. There's a lot
talking
of
point?
dude. All you do is complain about. I like zoning, except when it's done to me. Then I'm gonna bitch about it. Like, have some
That's not
consistency.
zoning though. That's just
It
dumb.
is zone. You literally describe zoning. You was like, dude, I have to hold back and I have to respect what she's about to throw at me. Welcome to zoning. Like
Yeah,
that is
but
zoning.
there's no read to make to blow it up. Is my point. Like it's typical average zoner. Okay, they're controlling space. They're shooting a projectile. Oh shit! You made a read and jumped it. Okay, now they're getting blown up. There was none of that with Sector. You just couldn't do anything.
Cares? There's a character who can like literally kill us nonstop in the Oki. I don't give a damn about that stuff.
That's
Like
ridiculous.
my perspective is, look, you wanna make me guess
Your
wrong?
perspective is it has to be oppressive to be good.
Yeah, that's the game. Welcome to the game. If you don't understand that, well, no wonder you play MK2. Go play more. Go play something else. Maybe you'll bitch about MK2 at some point as well. Like you don't understand how fighting games work, man. All you do is bitch. That's my complaint about you.
No, I know a good game when I see it.
Yeah. How long will it be until you complain about that game? Let me know.
I mean, I'm like a mid-level player. I'm enjoying it though, even though I'm losing a lot.
Well,
I think,
I,
like, I know it's obviously it's very subjective, and um, like I don't think Deadshot's a good example of a good zoner because he was just doing wrist cannon nonstop, and then when you finally get in on him, he's doing 50-50s. So like,
Right.
I don't really think the Deadshot talking point's like the best talking point. Like if you're talking about severe cases of imbalance, then yeah, that's a good talking point. But as far as like where
no,
do
the
you
talking point is that I'm not a bitch. I play that character. I never complain. I'm like, Matt, you beating me. You're the better player at this time. Like I'm not complaining. I'm just saying the point. I'm consistent. Like when zoning is even if it's brain dead, I protect my gameplay style. And by the way, I protect the people. In the crew, right? I protect the boys. Cowboy was like the first people. No, can't have this. Oh my god! Oh my god! Dave, this is so broken. Like I'm not like that. I've never been like that. Yeah, I complain about anti-zoning. You can blow me
I
up for
say
that.
you complain about broken shit a lot. That's funny. That's
No,
fucking
I don't.
rich. Yes, you do. Are you
Yes, if it's
fucking kidding
anti-zoning, of
me?
course I
Do you
do.
know how many Skype calls
Okay,
I've been
okay,
in?
not
The
yeah.
hours upon hours I've spent listening to you complain
uh,
about characters?
You
Get the
can't.
Yeah,
fuck
that I
out of
anti-zone
here.
Okay, you
all
cannot
my
roast
characters.
Cowboy. I don't talk to Cowboy as much as you do, but you cannot roast him for anything you're roasting him for. So long you are complaining about anti-zoning.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I
you
said.
bitched
I'm
for
consistent.
years. I'm not kidding.
Yeah, I'm
Years.
consistent. Yeah, I'm consistent. I complain about the stuff that
Consistently
don't fit.
dumb. Yes.
So you're saying how dumb how?
Because you think you have this weird thing where you think because you always say the same shit that makes you like superior, but that's not true because shit is always changing. It's stupid to always hold the same perspective. It's narrow-minded is what that's
Like,
called.
yeah, you should be all for good zoning, but also all for good anti-zoning.
Like you're thumping your chest about being ignorant, essentially, just being unchanging.
No, I'm not.
That's not something to be proud of.
Well, I had rather be proud of always protecting zoning and always disrespecting anti-zoning. That's been my consistency. Whereas you, whatever beats you, you bitch. Like
That's not
that is
true.
a
I
bitch by
I don't lose
design,
to everything that I complain about. That's not true.
dude.
I do pretty. And as a matter of fact, I do pretty fucking well against Homelander with Quan Chi, and I still think the character is batshit broken.
No, the point is, I don't care which characters you do well or bad against. You always, wherever there's something that beats you, even when you use the same gameplay style, you always complain about it.
That's not true.
That is 100% true.
I complain about things that beat and don't beat me. Like, there's no like you're not going to filter it out that
You're
way.
okay with zoning until it's done against you. Essentially, the modern player, like right, the modern player, they would zone you all day long. You know what they hate when you zone them back? It was like, oh my god, he's
Well, yeah,
holding back.
those are the mindsets that like I'm not saying Cowboys one of them either, but that's part of what I don't agree with the modern FGC mindset is anything that slows anything down is just automatically broken or needs to be
It's not
like
even
Right.
about slowing stuff down. It's about the fact when you do something to them that they do unto you. These people are so Tom is right and wrong at the same time, right? Like it's not the fact that these modern players are bad players. I think they're amazing. It's the fact that they're mentally weak. Like there's these people are some of the mentally weakest player I've ever seen in my life. If not the most mentally weak people I've ever seen ever in anything, right? They cannot handle when you do something to them that they do unto you. They will zone you all day long, but when you do it to them, they will rage quit immediately. Immediately they will quit. Immediately. Why? Because they're weak. Mentally, they're weak. They cannot handle it. So that's the problem. And I feel like Cowboy has some of that in him as well.
no
Not that he's a quitter.
no
He's never.
honestly no I don't think Cowboys is like I don't think it's his I don't think he's nowhere anywhere near like as severe as the modern FGC player. Like I think Cowboy is definitely way more what's the word tolerant. Like he's got way better of a tolerance than uh, most the average player. Like sure he might want more balance and order, but and I might not agree with that to a certain extent, but I definitely think he has a higher tolerance than most modern players.
You think I hate zoning and I'm playing MK2? Yeah, that's a fucking laugh, man. Do you have any idea how like slow the pace of that game is? It's like, yeah, it's silly to say that I just complain about like zoning or shit that beats me. I want balance. Anything that I think is not balanced is something I'm gonna bring up. It could be zoning or offense. It really doesn't matter.
It could be Garrus, like
Could
you
be
know,
Garrus. Yeah, good point.
fuck.
Uh huh.
I think the one, what did you speak up against Sinestro and Justice One if you were if you're this balanced warrior?
I picked up Sinestro because I thought he was cool. Yeah.
No, I'm saying after you knew the fact that it was essentially a semi-zoning character with a meterless vortex. Where were you preaching balance?
I've always said that the game should have been changed. They just never did.
Yeah, you know how they would have changed the game by nuking your character.
Well, and like Aquaman
and
too.
that
And
Well,
and that
yeah,
and that goes to bad game decisions. Like like I don't think characters should be getting nuked to the floor either. Like, and obviously I know like we kind of strayed away from the tier list, which we did finish up the tier list, but um, yeah, like um, it's a really hard like me personally like I don't like to see nerfs all the time, like unless it's something really super egregious, obviously, or like whatever. But like I want to see things be strong and powerful again of any archetype, like And I know the modern FGC is not for that a lot of the time, but maybe I'm in the minority for saying that, but
no, not just the modern. A lot of even the old school players. Uh, that's that's just the reality of things. Um, I think this is what I tried. In my private conversation with Tom, I'm like told him like, dude, you need to face facts. A lot of people are just hypocrites. Like they claim they want all this stuff, and yeah, Tom, they support you and Sub Zero, and they want to say M to Dave, dude. If those people fought my Freddy, what do you think they would say? If those same people who like quote unquote supporters fought um, Tom Sub Zero, what do you think they would say? They will quit immediately. That's the reality of things. They're hypocrites, and they claim they want better defense until they have to fight against it. They're like, no, 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 we don't want that. There's a reason why MKX was successful, at least to a large degree. It's because most people don't want those gameplay styles to be successful, and that's the reality.
yeah, and that's
And even in
something I
that,
think
and
like
even in that game, people threw it like Cowboy did, and Rio, and even Top
what
did
did
the
I do
same.
now? What?
uh,
They hate armor. They will bitch about armor nonstop. They don't like
armor
defense.
like armor wasn't done the best in MKX, and I get it. It was the defense. It was the best defensive slash offensive mechanic you had in that game. But like we can agree, I think most people can agree. Like armor wasn't handled the best in that game. But obviously the offense was so heavy, you needed the armor to some degree. I know, but offense shouldn't have been that strong to begin with either. So like
Exactly. That's exactly what. And this is what this idiot can't see is that just because the game went one way doesn't mean it has to continue in that direction. You can make other changes.
and these games only had 2 year life cycles for the most part. So it's like this is like, and I know we're straying away from the tier list, but this is something I want to talk about with you, Cowboy, and other guests that I want to have eventually, like my brother,
Hmm.
maybe other, like maybe have Tom again, and maybe even a
Sure.
bigger group of people. But like being that NRS is kind of on the downfall of the big three, like with Street Fighter 6 and Tekken 8. I know some people say Tekken 8 has its own issues and stuff, but like clearly Tekken 8 and Street Fighter 6 are like above MK right now, like competitively at least. Um, so like I think going forward, for one, hopefully the game is good, like good launch, whatever, and hopefully archetypes come back. The pace of the game is a lot faster. The scrub factor is like not as present. Like no wake up buttons. Bring back traditional anti airs. Like balanced armor system. meter management, stuff like that, And I think if the game just was able to live longer than 2 years, we could be able to do that if we had a longer lifespan in the game and like just kept fine tuning it and fine tuning it. And that's like the legacy I think that should go into the game. Like Noob's design in MK1, for example, I think should be legacy going forward. Like that should be Noob's design going forward. Garrus, his design in MK1 should keep going the way it is going forward. And maybe some other characters you can name from MK1 or previous titles, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, I mean, I agree. It would be in their best interest to have legacy stuff happening, but it just isn't what they do for whatever reason. They like to reinvent the wheel every year.
and yeah,
So
that's their biggest downfall. I think is reinventing the wheel because like you're just making more work for yourself by literally reinventing every character, every game mechanic, and every like even aesthetic of the characters. Like MK1 looks nothing like MK11, and MK11 looks nothing like MKX, etc. So it's like all this dev time they're doing reinventing the wheel in every aspect of the game could be going towards like the game's balance.
I'd take it a step further and not even just say balance, just I mean gameplay.
Yeah,
Like it just should feel good to play. And I think they've had things they could have built on mechanics and movement. Yeah, but they just always change it.
yeah,
So
exactly, and
yeah,
that's why they can't maintain a one solid giant community of people. We're all divided with every NRS game.
I
yeah,
think
I
that's
think it's the wrong move. I don't know why they don't do it.
yeah. I think it's an issue. The problem at this point is not, well, not necessarily the problem, but what's the solution? And again, going back to my conversation with Tom, it's legacy for whom and by whom. Like, you want to build like MK9? Those people are all like 35, 40, whatever, even older. Like, they're not gonna come out and play like that. That's so. Who are you building legacy for?
I
I,
would, but I mean, I guess they
I
don't count.
think
No, I would,
I
but
know I sound biased in saying it, but I think the MK9 community probably would be the best. Like, I think most people, maybe not most people, but I think more people in any era of Mortal Kombat. I think MK9 had like the most tolerable, like tolerable being like not like quick to complain. I guess like like they were fine with high power levels
no, they
and
weren't. No, they weren't. That's just a lie. That's just not true. Like that's there. Do you know why we got the cameo system? Why we got the variation system? Why we got the custom systems? Cowboy, you can vouch for me. What's the most complained about thing about MK9 at a competitive level? And what was it rather at that time?
the
It was what?
matchups.
Yes. So what are we talking about? Everybody. I complain about smoke. If you use Cage, you're complaining about Kenshi and Freddy. If you if you use if you use smoke yourself, you would complain about Cage and Sonya. Like there's no yeah, we agree there's no legacy, but it's too late now to like you're trying to address problems that were never fixed and we're too deep in the hole right now. Like it's over. It's over.
Yeah, but I think revisiting because everybody will agree MK9 or X was the most fun to watch for sure, but most fun to play too is also between those games in most people's eyes that were there and to play them that have played them. Like Tekken, not sorry, uh, Lil Majin from Tekken. He plays Tekken. I don't know when he started, but he played MKX and he thought it was fun and it wasn't even his main game. But he never stuck around after MKX. Like I think the most non MK players we had playing our games was during MK9 and MKX. Um, I think that's kind of like a sign of like what the games were doing right back then. And also those players from those other scenes might also have the same mindset as I do or other MK9 players had, like with the high power
No,
levels.
trust me, they don't. No, trust me. Go to the tech community. They boycotted their own game about higher power levels. That's the worst example you've ever mentioned. Uh, the only thing you can do is this. Forget forget about metas and all. That's the FGC bubble. You design a game that's functional on release. whose online gameplay works, whose single player content is adequate, et cetera, right?
Yeah.
And then everything else is honestly is just a complete matter of coincidence and luck in the sense of will the community like it or not. Obviously you don't want to have a broken game, you don't want a game that's boring, et cetera, et cetera. But like to please everybody in the FGC, dude, that's like winning the lottery. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
that's. I
literally
mean,
that's what I'm trying to make people understand, and you cannot do that. Like it's just not possible.
yeah,
They
yeah.
will always
You have to
it's
be
like
okay with
Cowboy.
not.
Cowboy's fine with zoning unless it's done to him. Then he bitches about zoning, right? Like this guy's okay with defense unless you have armor. Then he's going to play. Like it just doesn't work. People will always complain. They're hypocrites, and and you can even mention me back in the day to the extent, right? But I don't think I am. Like I think I've been super consistent about what I believe in. I believe in high power levels. I have never complained about zoning ever. Have I complained about anti-zoning? Yes, I have. But like I think I've been very, very consistent in my views about those topics.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
congrats on being narrow-minded and never changing. That's really something to be proud of.
the
Well, I think if you want to consider somebody being consistent, narrow-minded, that whatever will I disagree with your definition, but whatever. But Franco, go ahead.
um like I think Tom's right about like people are willing to accept the game as long as it's fun, even if it's messed up and batshit crazy.
It doesn't mean anything. What does fun mean? Again, you're
Oh,
using very
okay, but fun
you know,
matters, Dave. Yes,
No,
I know
yeah,
it's hard to define.
fun definitely matters, Dave, for sure. Like,
okay, fun to me is using Freddy throwing shit at you. That's not fun. That will not be fun to most people. Like,
Well, that's where
what do you
balancing comes in.
What does that
That's
mean? Okay, but when you make balancing that in that sense means you nerfing the stuff that I do. So you get
no,
the guy.
no. It means that it's good enough that you can use it, but there's ways around it. That's what balance would be. I mean, that's literally just
Okay,
it.
not really.
Like,
I mean, you're
no,
using very
yeah.
simple.
you can go like it's obviously not easy, but it definitely could have maybe been done if MK9 just had more time to be
Right.
developed. You know, like
Okay, I
but
like armor. I
we
like
never
putting
saw
armor
that
into a
day.
shield. How many people find that fun to fight against? How many
A
people?
lot of people I
You
think
got
would
one
rather fight
guy
armor than
crying
zoning. To be
fight
fair,
earlier. What's that?
I think more people would fight armor than zoning. To be fair, but that's
I
just me.
I disagree. I think armor is one of the least liked things about. That's the most complete. Why do you? Who got nerfed the most in MK1?
Well, there's no zoners in MK1,
One
so
thousand.
I'm not talking about Zoner. I'm talking about armor. Kung Lao, Tanya. Tanya went from like top five to like literally bottom one within like one patch.
but if there was good zoning in MK1, I guarantee you people would have complained more about that than the armor. I don't know why.
Well,
I feel like people hate zoning more
there
than
was good
armor.
zoning, and I think zoning is relevant. It's just not that strong. You cannot name one, like, even Peacemaker, who went from like super top to like, I don't know, like bottom 10. Even he didn't fall as much as like Tanya, who went like from literally like top five to like bottom one, arguably bottom two, depending how you look at it, right? Like it's very, very clear. What's the most complainable thing in MKX aside from maybe 50/50s? Armor. People don't like armor. I like it. I think that's how these games should play. That's my opinion, and I know people will hate me for it. So,
But again, in a
what does
balanced
fun
game,
mean?
you'd be
Go
able to
ahead.
have fun by using it, but other people could still have fun because there is ways around your shit. It's
Well, I
not that
had fun.
complicated.
Well, I
You just
okay.
not happy because you can't just mindlessly spam it all day.
There
Like that's
you
just
go.
not
So now
reasonable.
you're exactly you're pushing your own
But
definition
you're
of
not being
something
reasonable
is
about
fun.
that.
I am being reasonable. I don't think
No.
Kung Lao pre-patch with Tremor. I'm sorry, Kung Lao pre-patch Kung Lao with the pre-patch sector was broken. You got it nerfed. You advocated for it, just like Rio did with Armor and MKX.
Yeah, because it was brainless.
Exactly. That's your definition. But to me, it was the character was not broken. Like he did something original. Um, it was a
Or,
uh, it was a guy.
okay.
It was a guy who he would never even place aside from one guy. So why did it have to get nerfed? You did it. You advocated nerf
I did
again.
it. Yep.
And you were
I
part of
called
the
Pavo.
group.
I said, you know what? This armor needs to be nerfed right now. Do it. and he did it. You're right.
Well, you
Yeah.
were part of the problem. Like, you're part of the problem, yeah. And you want wonders, but when you still stand, you want
That's
wonders.
right.
So, like,
I want
I
wonders.
mean,
That's
yeah,
right.
exactly. I know. Thank you for proving my point. I know you do.
Yeah.
I know
Nerf
you
them
do.
all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. So that's the problem. Like, so your definition of fun is very different from my definition of
You're
fun.
right.
But
I agree with that. It's just that you can find the happy medium, is what I'm saying.
yeah, I think you can say that about all archetypes too. Like you could have
Right.
Tom's trapping playstyle exist while also having Dave's armor slash zoning desires, while having me grappling everybody in their butt cheeks, like with all grappler. You know what I'm saying? Like, and my brother maybe wanting like an aerial Kung Lao esque character. Like, you could have it all, and obviously it takes a lot of time to try to balance every archetype that exists in that said game. But we can't get to that point when we only have 2 year games with no legacy in them. Like,
No, by definition, you cannot have everything be to the same extent, and people are always going to complain, right? Like, there's a reason like Injustice 2 died, right? Because it was a slow game. Uh, the offense was not strong enough. Um, Zoning and holding back was very, very powerful, right? Like, there's a reason why we call it a meta. By definition, meta means it's something that's best in the game. And if zoning is not best in the game, then I'm going to complain. If if I don't know, grapples are very weak, then you're gonna complain. If I don't know, footies are weak, then Cowboy's gonna complain. Like that's what we call the meta, right? You cannot please anybody ever. That's why it doesn't work. That's what I'm saying. All you can do is focus on those 5 things that Rio talked about when you release a fighting game, and then the rest is just like coincidence. If people like it, they like it. If they don't, you make still money and you fucking move on. Like that's what works. That's reality.
well, I don't know. I still think trying to have as many different archetypes for as many different people is like the best way to try and start like a roster of characters. You don't want 99% of the roster to just be 50-50 characters, you know? Like, and I know you don't also, not you directly, but the majority of the audience in the FGC wouldn't want 99% of the roster to be zoners. Obviously, from a viewership perspective, it's just not going to perform well for a fighting game. But they should still exist. They just shouldn't be the majority. And they should be allowed to be like strong to some extent to where they're relevant in the meta, you know?
I mean, I don't know what any of you said, what you have just said, what it has to do with anything that I was saying, but okay. When did I claim against archetypes? I'm just telling you something has to be the best in the game by design. Whether you accept that or not is a different story. Like um, in any game, right? Like maybe MK9 is somewhat of an exception, but even MK9 follows a pattern, right? What's the best thing in the game? Well, the characters who can build the most meter and, you know, get in, get out of range, and play the best footsies. That's the best in the game. Like that's what it is. If unless you have that, then you're not that strong.
That's
That's
not
just
really
reality.
true.
That is true.
No, it's not. That's not
Okay.
what I did at all. Like, not even that's not even a tenth of what I did with my game plan and Shang in that game.
Well, you didn't use a top tier. Thank you for proving my point.
Well, but I competed and I was able to like beat those top
People
tiers.
would say Shang. I mean, Shang's top 10, I think. I'm not saying he's the best character,
He's in
but
the area. I don't know exactly which place, but
yeah,
top 10, top
me
12.
personally, I would say he's top 10, but you know,
Hmm.
he's a relevant meta character, you know?
Like you were just talking about from your perspective. From my perspective, that's not how the game was played. Like that kind of just proves that game had better diversity than even some modern titles.
I mean, if that game had diversity, then that's the biggest joke
As
I've
far
ever
as
heard.
archetypes go, that game definitely blows it out of the park with diversity
Yeah, 100%.
Every
from
time
an
you increase
archetype perspective.
diversity, anytime you increase diversity, you decrease the balance aspect, right? So, and you're judging the game by standards in which most people didn't know really watch like the first or even the second year of the game at Evo. Like people just didn't know what the fuck they were doing. Like they were
Okay,
just
but
like,
yeah, that's also an
I'm going
issue
based
of
off of the end game though. I'm
that's
not going
also
based
an
on that.
issue of the games not having enough dev time
Right,
too,
that's true too. Yeah.
which also, like I said, I'm making that a factor in the conversation of what they should do going forward. And sorry, like, do I sound okay? Like quiet, like volume wise? I know I'm like losing my voice throughout this chat, but do I sound okay
No,
still?
I hear you.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that's also just an issue of the game just not having enough time to live. Like me and my brother, we still play MK9 to this day and Justice 1 to this day. There's matchups we fleshed out on our own that weren't fleshed out when the games were like alive. For example, like Killer Frost and Doomsday, I think would be way differently placed on a tier list than Justice 1 back then as opposed to right now with me and my
Okay,
brothers.
let
Like,
me ask you this question. You godlike Injustice 1 players. What was the tier list 5 years ago, whatever, 10 years ago, whenever Injustice 1 was released, and what it is right now in your case?
after the S tier characters is very, very different.
No, no,
Uh,
no, no, no. I'm talking about the top character, the characters people would be using if they play the game right now. Go ahead. How has the tier list changed from Martian or whatever, Batgirl, Aquaman, Zod, to I don't know, Flash to Sinestro, whatever, the top five, six that everybody agree. How has that changed? Go ahead, tell me.
those characters are the same, but there's still other
Thank
characters.
you. Well,
Wait, wait, wait.
nothing has changed. No, nothing. You no, you should listen to a grown man talk to you for once in your life.
Yeah, but you don't even play
Nothing
this
has
game
changed.
anymore, so.
I know, but I'm still right. That's the point I'm trying to
No,
make.
wait,
Nothing has changed.
no,
It's
things,
just like
things, no,
your
things definitely did
ego has
change.
deceived
No,
you because you guys still play whatever. You guys play in your basement. Fine, good. Here's your clap. Whatever. Are you happy now? Nothing has
no, we're not.
changed.
We're not trying to prop fish for anything. We're
But you
just saying,
are. Nothing
no, no,
has
we're not. We're.
changed.
It's not me prop fishing. It's me. Like we're literally, like we are developing the game like further than it was developed to. Like it's past like and I'm not saying that's a flex, but I'm just saying like there's genuinely like some matchups aren't as bad as some people made them out to be, or some characters aren't as good. Like Doomsday, Doomsday was placed on average back then as like a top like 15 character or maybe a little higher, but he's a lot lower than I would say like we thought back then. Like people just couldn't block Earthshake that consistently. People didn't know how to deal with his hyper armor as well. But like when you flesh out the game as well as me and my brother did, again, not trying to prop fish, but it's just part of like the evolution of the game. You just realize Doomsday is way overrated than we thought he was when the game was alive, and that's just one minor example. But
Yeah, Dave, you're being a little obtuse here. Games do get fleshed out, even though I mean, obviously, it's been years since there's been a huge following. But just for example, even like MK2, right? There's been developments that were literally never thought of back when that game was being played. Like, and I mentioned that just because it's obviously a lot older than like MK9. But that shit is always found. So even though the game may not have a mainstream push anymore, people will still find shit and develop it.
yeah, like even though
100%
Martian,
true.
Batgirl, and Aquaman are still S tier, it still doesn't change the fact that there's evolution in the game. Like
Right.
like Melee is 25 fucking years old, man, and like that game's still evolving. Like I know you don't care about Smush, but that game's still evolving to this day, and that game has not had a single patch ever. Like that's insane. Like, and I know it's like lightning in a bottle, but the point stands on the evolution side of things.
You guys don't know enough about fighting games to mention the actual evolution. Like you have, for example, in Super Turbo, the old T-Hawk, when people remember the whole um, op select meta from Street Fighter 4, people actually implemented that into that game and made a character supposed to be low tier actually relevant to the meta. That actually matters. That's oh my god, Doomsday now is actually what, instead of being the 16th worst character in the game, he's like the
Okay,
18th.
okay, I'll give you a
It's
better example than Doomsday for Injustice One. Then, uh,
Black
so
Adam, right?
no, 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 not Black Adam actually. Deathstroke, Deathstroke. Maybe it's because a lot of people would always say Deathstroke was not like top seven or whatever, like, but he definitely was. Like people had him outside of like the top seven range back then, or even Catwoman. Catwoman was like seen as mid tier back then. She could be top 10. Like you could debate her or Batman or Even
Anyway, none of this
Lobo,
matters.
even
If you
Lobo.
if people played for money, they would be using the same 5 characters that they used 10 years ago. It would literally make no difference, right? That's because the game is not very balanced. It's very broken, and there's not so much an injustice, but more so an MK9. The difference between the low and the top tier character is like it's this distance between our galaxy and the next galaxy, right? It's even hard to wrap your mind around like how badly they fucked up the balance, right? And that's really the reality. If people traveled, I would argue in the older games, you would even see more top tiers. Why? Because people now understand if I'm gonna waste my money, especially in this fucking economy, like I'm just gonna use the best character in the game. Why would I bother with even the fourth, fifth, or even sixth? I'm gonna use the best characters in the game, right? And the only way some of these other characters would be used is most likely in this sense, which you haven't even mentioned, is maybe a character like Lex Luthor, right? Because he has competitive value in the sense that he counterpicks certain characters. And if you don't know the matchups, then probably Aquaman and Martian Manhunter plus would get mopped up, right? That's that's what the meta would be, and I would put any money on the line.
I still think people would play for fun, like the characters they enjoy, and not just tier horror all the time. And I think you're too extreme with that talking point. Like, that's just going to happen in any game, but that doesn't take away the fun factor the game has. Like, and again, like the extreme imbalance we have in some of our games. Like I said, it's because we just didn't have enough time with the patches in the game's life cycle. Like, you know, that's part of the problem too towards NRS in their games. But I still think you're a little too extreme with that talking point. Like, that doesn't take away any of the fun that the game has inside of it.
Well, most people don't have fun losing. That's my perspective.
What do you think,
All right,
Cowboy?
guys, I gotta get out of here. It's late.
Ah, yeah. All right. Uh, I guess some bonus footage after the tier list. We'll,
More than people expected.
I got some MK2 to play.
Oh yeah.
a
Well, hey. Well,
shout outs to
I
Legacy Collection and the upcoming Mortal Kombat 2 movie coming.
well, I'm not sure when I give out shout outs to the Legacy Collection. Whatever your way.
Oh man.
Uh, I do want to give out a shout out to Cowboy for joining us, though. So,
Yeah.
thank you for joining us for this tier list and the after discussion. So, we really appreciate you coming on and sharing your knowledge, and I hope that you get back to Mortal Kombat 1 after the patch comes out.
We'll see.
Um, so with that said, I know we're past what we wanted to do. So um, again, thank you to Cowboy for joining us, and thank you for Burrito Voorhees, aka King Junior, for hosting. And we shall see you in the next episode of the Nexus podcast.